What's going on? It's your boy Preston, Phat Samurai Guy, here to remind you about Hi-Yah, the go-to destination for all things martial arts and action content. Whether you're looking for something new and fresh in the art form, or an old classic that has been forgotten by other platforms, Hi-Yah has got you covered. Its library is a vast landscape that spans many decades and features specific genres like kick-ass women, police stories, gun fu, and sci-fi and fantasy. Not only is it going to give you some of the biggest names of all time like Jackie Chan and Donnie Yen, but it also has an immense slate of newcomers featured in their many original productions. New titles, both in film and TV, are constantly being added to the site, and it's currently available on Prime Video, YouTube, and HiYahTV.com. So what are you waiting for? Start your free trial of Hi-Yah today.
Hi, everybody. Yes, it's me, Ric Meyers, award-winning author, World Hall of Famer, and best-selling writer. And I've got all my stuff from all my 50 years of working in virtually every entertainment medium all over on eBay at the great Chimera publishing site shop on eBay. And you can find, I've got signed Jackie Chan posters. I've got autographed Venom's posters from Hong Kong and things from Japan. I have all the pictures from all my books, including some books like The World of Cartoon Art that were never actually published, but you get all the evidence of that. And all autographed, all awesome, original fine art. You just go over to Chimera Publishing on eBay and you can go through and see it all, and it can be yours. And also, because of a very kind gentleman who suggested I do this, a dear friend of mine, somebody you might know as Kung Fu Santa, now has a Cameo site on Cameo. And you can get Kung Fu Santa to wish people birthdays and holidays and all sorts of things. But enough about me. Come on, let's get on with the show.
Film Autopsy. Yeah. Oh yeah. What is going on? It's your boy, Preston, Phat Samurai Guy, back again with another episode of Action Film Autopsy. That's right. And we are 51 episodes now. So happy 50 episodes for the show, at least here on my channel, and of course Anubis's. But first, speaking of Anubis, what? Welcome back, brother Anubis from the Tavern Podcast.
Thank you, sir.
Looking spiffy, looking young, looking like you're full of fun there, sir.
Looking like a young Ric Meyers.
yes. And
Grow the beard longer.
Yeah, he's got. I'm
I
stuck.
gotta work on
Rick,
that.
I'll never catch up with you, man. This is it. It's over. It's over. I can't do it. And the first time on Action Film Autopsy, you guys seen his awesome Versus videos on our Versus series. Tristan, welcome to the show, brother.
What up, everybody? Martial arts film freak here, ready to talk some kicks, punches, grips, and the graps.
Yeah, man, the grips and the graps. Yeah, man. Thanks again for being here. And of course, you know him. You know who it is, the commentary beast, the legend, Frank Djeng.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How do you like my deliberate display of opera recordings on LP behind me there? Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Fancy.
Your Comic-Con shirt.
Of course.
Letting everybody know that in a month, less than a month, we're doing the 29th annual.
Oh, yes.
San Diego Comic-Con Kung Fu Extravaganza.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, returning. Yeah. And of course, you guys know who this guy is. That's right. Award-winning author, best-selling author as well.
I already did the introduction.
I know. I'm just doing it again.
Blabbing about myself.
Ric Meyers.
Hey, everybody. And by the way, the reason we have more people than usual is they're all here to gang up on me. Because
I don't know
read
about
my
that.
reviews of the movies.
No. I don't know about that. But first off, let's say hello to the chat here. Jake Hall in the house. We got the Movie Dojo Army showing up. Kevin, we're starting the ruckus. Good to see everyone here. And to remind everybody, ruckus. All of the things, the plethora of movies we're going to talk about tonight is going to be spoilers. Spoiler warning, spoiler alert.
There'll be spoilers. There'll be spoilers.
Yes, there's going to be some spoilers. But yeah, well, hold on a second. We got Brian says, "What's up, Phat Samurai Guy, Anubis, Ric Meyers, Frank Djeng, all the way from New Mexico." Yeah,
Albuquerque.
Good to see you, Brian. Yeah, good to see everyone. Yeah, thank you guys for chiming in and watching. But yeah, so up first, we're going to start with the banger here. Hold on. Okay, I'm just checking messages here. We're going to start with the banger, and this is going to be interesting. It's going to be fascinating. Everyone here is going to have different takes or the same take. It's going to be interesting because is everyone here on the panel? We're going to get into the furious right now. Is everyone here on the panel going to be? Are they going to say the furious is an overrated piece of trash?
It's probably good that we're all not in the same room because then we'd really get furious.
Or are we going to have some people that enjoyed the film like I did? We have Jay Skull in the house. Good to see you, brother. Yes.
Everybody's going to enjoy the film, but on different levels.
Yes, we're going to pick everyone's brain here. So again,
let me put it this way: it's going to be 4 against 1. That's what's going to be.
I'm going to go first, and then Rick, you go last. How's that? I'm going to go first. So if you guys have not seen my interview with Joey Iwanaga, the kicker, the main villain of the movie, check that out. It's over at Martial Arts Action Cinema's channel. Check it out. I had the honor to speak with him. But if you guys haven't seen that, I gushed over the movie. I went crazy. This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year because of all the talent involved. And I saw the trailer. I lost my mind in the trailer. And then I had people message me who saw it at a festival last year. And they were like, bro, you're not ready. They're like, you're not ready. Okay. All the stuff, they're keeping all the good stuff out of the trailer. All right. Just wait to see the movie. So I'm like, oh God, I'm losing it. So I stayed away from clips that were out there from Lionsgate. I stayed away from other trailers. I was like, so I only did one trailer reaction. And I watched it. I was sent a screener. I watched it here with the missus. And me personally, man, I loved it. Every single fight to me was better than the one previous. And when you get to the fight with Brian Lee, shout out to Brian from Martial Club. When you get to him, that fight is so good that easily could have been the 2-on-1 fight. It easily could have been the in finale fight to another martial arts movie. That's how good that fight was. And then we get to the finale, which blew me away. I was not, like I said, that in finale fight gave me anxiety. I was sitting in my chair, grabbing my chair, watching this. Like the hairs were were up on my arm. I was like, this is insane. I've never seen anything like this before. And it just completely blew me away. And what's so insane about this fight scene is you can go back and watch this fight scene a million times and you will discover something new. And it's just crazy. I watched some of the previs of them, figuring it out and how to create something so special. And it just, to me, it lived up to the hype. To me, it changed the game. Now, for better or for worse, I think for better, because I had stunt guys, I had filmmakers call me, and they were like, "Bro, the Furious was insane. This was nuts. I gotta catch up. I gotta get better. I gotta get better." You know, and I was just like, "Hey, it's a challenge." You know, when we had On Bach hit the scene, bam, right? On Bach changed the game. SPL came out, changed the game. The Raid came out, changed the game. And now we have the Furious. And I'll bounce in here a little bit on more thoughts about the film, but I love you guys know I love horror movies. And that end finale was like the best of both worlds. It felt like a horror movie and a martial arts movie put together. People sleep on the soundtrack of that end finale fight. Listen to the music, the haunting themes, the organ music. And then when the action kicks in and it gets more intense, you got the metal guitars kicking in with the lightning flashing on the outside, coming through the windows while everybody's fighting to the death. I was losing my mind. I loved it. Now, let's hear what Anubis thought of the Furious.
Okay, so first things first, it's still going to be in my top 10, but it's currently around 7th in the ranking.
All right.
From what I do understand, this director is kind of new at this, but he's been around the stunt world for a while. So the stunts in this are fabulous. Like the way that he choreographed all the fight scenes and everything were fabulous to me. Nice. Some of my issues were while the stunts were great, the fight were great. They were a little bit too long. I felt like they were dragging on a little bit, and the story suffered a little bit. So even though the story is good, I felt like it doesn't. Like there was a moment where our lead actor is catching up with Joe Taslim, who's basically on his deathbed, and so like you want that scene to breathe. And it kind of rushed through a little bit before we got our villain back into the game. And so like I recently saw Colony by Yeon Sang-ho, and that's the guy that Train to Busan. And so there's a nice balance in there between the emotion versus the action and all that stuff. And so I like this movie, but compared to say like when we saw Blades of the Guardians earlier this year, I think that's like a lot more better pacing and balance, especially with the fighting. Okay. And then, you know, obviously when you go into these films, you know, you have to have a sense of, you have to kind of go in there with disbelief. Like you can't sit there and say, well, this is all real life. This isn't really going to happen, because some of these shots and these cuts these guys take are just not going to happen. So when I see Brian Lee's character get hit in the head with a sledgehammer, there's no way he's getting up from that. And not without being brain dead. But I love him as an actor. I think he's great. He was a fun character to watch. But again, just some of the stuff that happened in there just kind of like, I don't know, it just was up and down for me, but still very, very well done. I think this director has good potential to do a lot of great things going forward. So it's a good start for him, I think, in that regard.
Okay. Did you have any of those same complaints when you watched John Wick 4?
Yes, I actually did. In fact, people thought that I was crazy because I didn't like John Wick 4 as much as some of the other ones. So, yeah, definitely.
Interesting. All right, fair. That's fair. Frank, thoughts on the Furious? Did it make you furious, Frank?
Furiously, frustrated at some points, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
The final fight is great. I think the final fight against the 5 people, which supposedly I heard is actually a homage to the 5 Venoms, because 5 people. So that is, I think, on the same level as some of the fights that we saw in the Raid. I think that is as good as the fight we saw in the Raid. But everything else before that, see, I mean, like, we done the panels at Comic-Con, so we already knew this kind of fighting. Then we saw earlier with Baby Assassin and Ghost Killer, and these are not, to me, these aren't as a fight as more like wrestling. And that is my major problem with these fights, because I couldn't get into it. I don't see the impact. With a fight, you see the bad guy getting an impact. Boom, 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 this, I think all before that 5, the finale fight, The only meaningful impact was the sledgehammer thing again on Brian Lee. That was like the only thing that we saw somebody getting hit. And like Anubis said, to have him come back is kind of illogical. I don't care how good that fight is. You got to make the story logical. But my main problem with all the fight before the climatic fight was I couldn't get into it. You know, I don't get the same enjoyment.
You don't like the grappling.
I don't like the grappling. I don't.
You don't like
the,
you like get your fucking judo out of my martial arts.
Yeah, it's judo. No, exactly.
Joe Taslim, you're a judo practitioner. You've competed in judo. You're bringing it in here as fight. No,
that's martial arts.
I know.
Judo, get it out.
Look, I understand it's martial art, but I don't like the fact that when they're not really trying to fight each other, they try to prevent themselves from getting hit with all these. You know, the moving and all that. That's how I was looking at it. Okay. They're not trying to fight each other. They're trying to prevent himself from getting hit, and that's my main problem with the film. And then also, I mean, I like that. You showed that quick shot of the cage fight. That was good. But again, once they start stacking up, it became a bit unreal. And also, all the fights involving the small, the other bad guys, to me, just a bit unreal. It's like how can they get out of a fight with 20 people holding blades and daggers and stuff going against them now, but like I mentioned before, once that batshit moment came, a dimension when the guy got triggered and started killing everybody, that's when the movie really got good. I thought that was the moment when the movie got good, really good. But everything else before that, I was like, okay, good. But I just couldn't get into it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't get into it. Zimao is good. The girl is good. The story, I mean, whatever story, like people go see porn for the story, right?
Yeah, what story?
When you watch a porn, you don't watch for a story. You watch for what.
This is fight porn, is what you're saying.
Porn, exactly.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
I'm cool with that. Right. This is fight porn. I don't go into. I'm not going to see the movie to criticize the story or that. I want to see the fight. And to me, only that last part, once that trigger moment came, everything afterward was great. But before that, I maybe my expectation was a little bit too high for it, or it just don't. Maybe I'm just not a fan of Kenji Takaguchi style. This kind of
Tanigaki,
Kenji Tanigaki, and Sonomura. Sonomura is the choreographer. I'm just not that big fan of this kind of style. No matter how it looks good, it's great. But
I did want to add real quick. I was kind of disappointed that Taslim's character didn't get more. It just seemed like they kind of watered down his fighting ability in this, and I know he's a much better fighter than that. So I don't know. I know maybe it's just based on his character, but I just kind of felt like he was getting his ass kicked a lot more than he should have.
He was the Iko Uwais from Triple Threat.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
the Iko Uwais in Triple Threat basically kind of just was very generous and let everybody have their way.
And I just want to end my point on this is after I saw The Furious, I went back to see The Raid. I have The Raid. Okay. And almost every fight in that film impressed me. Not just the final fight, the beginning fight, like the moment they started, fighting. Every fight was good, and those are fights. You know what I mean? Those are not, those are not wrestling. Those are not judo moves. Those are fights. So, I mean, this will still be on my top 10, and I agree with Anubis. To me, Blades of Guardian is still higher than this film, just a little, but it will be on my top 10. But it's just not the not the next.
I could see enjoying Blades of the Guardians as an overall movie experience more than The Furious, but it's two totally different genres. Even Jet Li said anybody could do wuxia. When he was interviewing Xie Miao, he said anybody could do wuxia. He's like, but it takes a lot of training and skill to do what you guys are doing. And he was talking to Xie Miao about The Furious.
And of course, the frustration comes on. Like, we all want this movie to be great, right? We all want this to be the next masterpiece. So when it didn't reach our expectation, our anticipation, that's when we're disappointed. It's not like the film sucks or nothing. This is still a very good film.
It's a good film.
It's a good film. And again, like you were saying, Frank, it's fight porn, but the story is very minimal. But the same thing with Raid, the story is minimal. It was guy by himself in building. That was it. On Bach. I need the statue of the head to save my village. That's it. Everybody was there for the fights. You know what I mean? So, was there any other complaints or issues you had with?
Well, not everybody. You were there for the fights. So keep it personal. You are the king badass.
Yes.
That's what you want. I like
Right.
little people hitting each other. That's what I want. Little people hitting each other.
Out of
we
curiosity,
understand
though,
that.
Samurai,
But that's not all of us.
if you had to, like, you know, for yourself, like The Raid or En Bak, do you like The Furious more than those two films?
It's all three of those movies. It's all three different styles, man. You know, and you know, movies are subjective, and people that like to watch certain different styles it's subjective. I want to see believe it or not, I didn't like En Bak 2 because when I first watched it, I didn't like En Bak 2 because I wanted En Bak. I wanted Muay Thai.
Yeah.
What is this? Why is Tony Jaa doing claw and eagle claw? And they're like, what is this? I don't want this. And then when I went back and watched it again, I was like, oh my God, this is one of the greatest. That's why it's in the intro. I was like, this is one of the greatest finale fight scenes I've ever seen. And Tony Jaa was using weapons. He was doing everything. And I loved it, but that's not what I wanted. So, you know, and same thing with we go back to Joe Taslim. I've seen people comment, like real judo practitioners, and where they watched that fight between him and Shim Yao. And they were like, this is like, finally, judo is being represented in a realistic way in a fight scene in a movie.
But they haven't seen
Finally.
Throwdown? Throwdown has judo fight scene.
No, I'm just saying there's them they like what they saw.
No, Frank,
Okay.
that they haven't seen Throwdown.
Yeah, they have
You
not
and
seen
I
Throwdown.
have seen Throwdown.
I've seen
have
Throwdown.
not.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I have the
You're
Blu-ray.
film
I know what
freak,
you're talking
buddy.
about.
Throwdown.
I'm just talking about, I was reading the comments when Lionsgate put that clip out there. I was reading the comments after I watched it later.
Let film freak
And people,
talk.
yeah. Well,
That's all
we're
right.
talking judo. But anyway, judo practitioners were happy with the grappling, Frank. It's the point I'm trying to make, you know. And the little things like that, where Shim Yao takes off the coat. So Taslim has got nothing to grab, and you see Taslim stop, and he goes, all right. And he goes back at it. Little things like that makes the fight feel real, you know. But yeah, Frank, any more issues or complaints on it?
No, like I said, it's a good film. I enjoyed
Grounded
it.
as much as it could be, Rick.
No, well, you know, I was saying it has to be real. If you're looking for a real fight, you do not go to the Furious. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about grounded in terms of martial arts combat shown on screen.
We'll get
Not all
to that.
realistic. I
We'll
get it.
to that.
All right, Tristan, your turn, and then we'll go to Rick.
Yeah, boy. This movie is the Wu-Tang Clan. This movie is a bunch of people who are all masters of their styles, all coming together for one incredible project. And what my favorite thing that I appreciate so much about this, you know, filmmaking, it's a collaborative effort. Everybody has to be putting their best foot forward, working together every single step of the way. And this movie is Kensuke Sonomura as a fight choreographer, bringing his signature style we've seen in like the Baby Assassins films and Hydra and Ghost Killer. You got Kenji Tanigaki bringing his directorial stylings. This is the most cinematic I've seen Kensuke Sonomura's stuff look. I've seen the Baby Assassin stuff. I've seen all of that. It's all amazing. It's some of my favorite stuff of the past few years. But something about Kenji Tanigaki's directing made it cinematic. It made it look like it really deserved to be on the big screen, and I loved it very, very much. But then you have all the on-screen players. You got MOTU, you got Joe Taslim, Brian Lee, Joe Iwanaga, Yayan Rui, and Jija Yanin, all these people bringing their own signature styles, the wushu, the judo, the taekwondo, the just crazy animalistic stuff of Brian Lee, this penchak silat, perfectly working together to mold that into the Kensuke Sonomura style. Because some of those martial arts, you don't look at maybe a silat or even maybe a little bit of wushu. You probably, like, we've only seen Sonomura do Sonomura in his own way. Boxing, some jujitsu and stuff like that. But to see all those different martial arts in the Sonomura style, everybody perfectly worked together in perfect harmony. I absolutely adore this movie. Yes, I am one of those guys that I'll say, yeah, sure, I came for the fights. I got more out of it than just the fights, in my personal opinion. But yes, I came for the fights. I left satisfied. I left happy. I do think I think the movie sets things up with small lines to make things make sense. Yes, Brian Lee got up from a sledgehammer to the head, but we got that one line where Joe Taslim points at a picture of him and just goes, "The guy's a poster boy for head trauma." Got it. The guy can take a hit. That's all I need to know.
Copy that. All right. Was there? You love the movie like I did, Tristan? But was there anything nitpicky? Anything you were like, they could have did that better? Looking at it again, talking about it again,
Nope.
reviewing it. No,
Not really.
Okay.
I just adored it.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I saw this movie in theaters twice. I went one time with a friend who does not watch martial arts movies, and I went the second time with my wife, who does not watch martial arts movies. Matter of fact, she despises them because I have to watch them in the living room while she just reads a book and she hates it.
Yeah.
Both of them loved it. So two people who
right.
do not come, they're not in this fandom and stuff like that, and they both were like, "Wow, that was really good."
Right.
And it's coming to VOD in 2 weeks, just so you know.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Rick, floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I felt the same way about as you did, Samurai, and as you did, Film Freak, until a certain point. Because I've been seeing movies, more than 60 years.
Right.
And I see all types of movies. I've written books on all types of movies. I was basically the pioneer of promoting these films in America: Kung Fu, martial arts, samurai, ninja. And so I see everything as the thing I love, which is that.
Oh, look at that.
And that's the second one. Where's the first one, buddy? Where's the first one?
I don't have that one.
Well, I'll try to get you a copy, but be that as it may. So I go into a movie. As you probably all know, I had a difficult childhood, so movies were my sanctuary. Movies were my escape. So I was always looking for, what was I looking for? How did Bruce Lee call it? Did he call it human content? But it was
emotional content.
Emotional content.
Not anger.
To me, it always been, because I'm also a writer of fiction. I've done many, many novels and worked on films and television shows. And so for me, there had to be the balance. That's why I love the yin-yang symbol, because that's the balance: mental, physical, body, mind, healing, defense, or healings. Well, nowadays, the way martial arts does it, it's self offense, the way it's done. So I'm watching this movie. I'm waiting because I'm a big fan of Tanigaki. I've seen all his movies. My favorite are his Rurouni Kenshin samurai films.
Yeah, those are good.
That I thought were just balanced. Again, beautifully balanced from the emotional content. And so I saw The Raid, and The Raid I thought was tremendous, because what anchored that movie, and I'm always looking for the anchor, is the leading character who had a job to do. He was the cop. He was not going to be killed in this building, and he would do what he had to do to get out. But here, the moment this movie lost me is the moment where I felt all the characters stopped being human. They all became video game, again, physiology-free video game characters. They took abuse that I love the Fast, that it was called The Furious, because I thought the thing was close to was, where's the Fast and? Where's the Fast and? Because the Fast and the Furious was the same thing. They're the ones who introduced the impossible to kill characters. And here we have, again, there was a moment where I sort of went, oh no, you're not going to do what I wanted you to do, which was when the heroes, Z and Joe, got together and they figured out a strategy. And the strategy was distract, attack. One distracts, one attacks. Right. And I said, perfect for this big muscular guy. And I said, do the right thing, because when I'm always looking, especially nowadays, when I'm looking at a fight, I want the fight to be real. I want it to be realistic. And if you just keep doing this, as soon as Zi Miao, who I know how talented he is, as soon as he started sitting on people and punching them repeatedly in the face, I went, what the F, man? Matter of fact, at the end of the movie, when he went back to the guy again, sat on him, and did this again, I literally said, because as you know, I was in a theater with only 2 other people.
Yeah.
And so by then they were used to me getting up and walking around the theater going, what the F, man? And at that point, when he was punching him, I walked up to the screen and I said, stop being so stupid.
Okay.
So here we go. Distracted attack.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one way to deal with that big, hulking, muscle-bound guy.
Yeah.
And that is, you do not punch him in the face. You do not punch him in the stomach. You do not punch him in the arm. There's only a few places you should be punching that guy. And the first place should be between the legs or the eyes or the ears. If you have to go for the kidney, go for the kidney. But they didn't do that. They did all these incredibly stupid things, and they had already devised distract and attack. And I created a scene that I wanted to see, which was they would start with one of them, whoever was in front of him would distract, and whoever was not in front of him would attack the balls. And it started started in the front.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, he went, and then he would start to defend himself. He would start, try to keep them from doing that. So then he would distract, and then they would attack from the back. They'd go between his legs. And then he would start to defend all that sort of stuff. And then they would go for the throat. And then they would go for the eyes. And then they would go for the ears. And the 2 of them together would have done this magnificent situation with bringing the guy down. And when I saw the trailer, again, I felt completely like you did, Phat, until this sort of stuff happening. I was so excited for that in the Octagon. Because the whole Octagon thing is just, again, feeding the badasses among us. The people who are anxious and hungry for violence, they go to UFC. They go to the Octagon. So he was going to be in the Octagon, and he was going to make a mountain out of the bodies so he could get out. And that was just great. And then, just like everything else in this movie, they left it there. That is what is known in the business as a setup. And in order, Alfred Hitchcock said 70 years ago, or whatever it was, when you set up a tension in the audience, you are duty bound to release it. That is what makes a movie more than just an insular thing for very specific fans. You are able to broaden out the audience so everybody reacts to the emotional content. They and they get excited.
Yeah. Right. Those are good points. That would have been cool to see more of them teaming up, hitting the weak spots.
But that's not the worst of it.
But I thought, this is from my perspective, I thought they ditched the strategy after he thought his daughter was killed. There wasn't no kung fu after that. Once he saw that his daughter was killed, he thought she was killed, he went berserker's barrage after that.
And he had to do that because he's stupid. Because he was being stupid. They were both being stupid.
Fighting angry.
And I don't like it when people are stupid. And also, and again, they're making. I love Tanigaki. I would meet all these people who worked with him, especially on the G.I. Joe movies, and they would always tell me about these wonderful fight scenes that he would choreograph that would be disemboweled in the editing room by the
Snake Eyes.
by the producer, by the producers.
Yeah.
And I was saying, great. I'm going to go see his movie, The Furious, where he's going to do what he wants to do. And this is what you wanted to do? You wanted to have these stupid characters doing stupid things with characters who do not get hurt. They don't get hurt. Sometimes they fall down, but they don't get hurt. He keeps on coming back. And I'm going, this is not for humans anymore. Badasses, yes. Badasses love this stuff because badasses don't, for the most part, don't want to be countered. They want to think that they can take all this and keep moving or something. But there was something else happening.
Okay.
I wanted the genre to grow because in the last year, I could see the future. And that is, if any of you go on TikTok now, if any of you go on any of the social media, you can see these new kung fu movies and martial art movies being made by AI and young actors who want to break into the business. And also that's why I'm not invited back to 42nd Street kung fu movies anymore.
So what happened? What happened?
In addition to watching the movie, which was very badly dubbed, and and I was looking at my buddy Bobby Samuels, and I was saying, what the F? Why didn't they go back to the original Shaw Brothers dubbing? But be that as it may, they had a bunch of those usual guys who are at these all events who make their own movies, who make their own fight movies and their own fight scenes. And they showed like 3 of them, and all of them were exactly the same, which was fighting. No levels. It's all fighting like this. Everybody's fighting exactly the same way. Nobody gets tired. Nobody gets hurt. And because they managed to keep doing that for 6 to 10 minutes, they think they've made something that's entertaining. And of course, everybody else being a nice human being, they always, because it was Bobby Samuels, it was me and a couple of other people, and we were asked to judge those. And everybody else said, keep up the good work. Doing well. That's nice. And by that time, I was so bored with this, one note nonsense. I said, guys, make me feel something. Make me think for a second, because guess what else happened in the last, and you saw this for yourself, Frank. What was happening in the movie theaters when you went to see The Furious?
Can I tell you what happened?
Yes, please.
Okay,
do.
so as we were sitting down, this guy who sat next to me was very hyper excited about the film. He's like, I heard that this is going to be like one of the greatest martial arts film in the past 10 years or so. So I'm very excited about watching this. He's very excited. He was just talking to me and stuff. At the end of the movie, he just walked out silently.
Yes, that's what happened on my end too.
He was stunned. He was amazed.
No,
he was like, "Wow,
I don't think
so. The greatest movie ever."
What we were stunned and amazed by was how much money this movie made in 2 weeks before it was yanked out of the theaters.
But yeah, wasn't this a limited theatrical release?
Though? No, don't go back to this defense. No, that doesn't work.
That's what I heard.
Well, it's not true.
Okay.
Here's the situation: if it kept making money, it would have kept going. But it didn't. It made very, very limited. But be that as it may, what I was referring to, Frank, is not that part, but what happened when you went to get the ticket and the lobby was filled with people who were buying tickets.
Right. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about that. Yeah,
go ahead, talk it.
I feel so fucking old going to see the film because, we went to, when we went to buy tickets, we saw all these young people in the lobby coming out from the theater. And so, my wife and I were like, wow, why so many young people? School is like, I know school is out. I just wonder what kind of movies were there to attract all these youngsters. And then look at the board on the display on the rooms, on the houses. It all says back room obsession. They were all there to see those 2 films.
See, what happens is that the audience changes. And what makes an audience change is not endless action on the same level. What makes audience changes is that they make the audience think without them even being aware of that's what they're doing. And that's what happened with horror. I did get these
fancy trading cards when I went in for the movie, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, and I knew I was in trouble.
Oh man,
because I was there for the 3rd day, and I was brought in by somebody from the AMC.
Hey man,
Tristan's got it too.
We get no cards, man.
They didn't have the cards.
Bullshit.
At my theater, they didn't have the cards, and I said that's a bad sign.
I didn't get them at mine. My dad saw it, and I guess he got them and he gave them to me.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh, how cool!
And more power to you guys. But be that as it may, this is what happened with horror as well. Horror all became one note because the producers thought that as long as they kept their budgets under a certain level, they would make money if they kept, do that. And then so horror started not making money. But then lovers of horror went in, and YouTube was awesome because they were able to, both the Backrooms director and the Obsession director was able to train the audience into what to expect, even without maybe much of the audience being aware. But if you has anybody seen Obsession or Backrooms?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's
on the list.
I have. And what I loved about both of them, because I don't like, again, I'm not interested in fighting for fighting's sake. I'm not interested in gore for gore's sake. I'm interested in somebody using fighting and using gore to make me think and make me enjoy and involve me. And I did a lecture at Disney called The Art of Screen Action. And that's what I was telling them to do. Set up a situation where the audience has to get involved into the fight scene, not just the same fight scene over and over again. And it was wonderful because the great Jackie Chan did that. The first time I saw Snake and the Eagle's Shadow and Drunken Master, he set the whole thing up so the whole movie didn't go like this. The movie went like this until the best fight scene was at the end. And that kind of happened here. But by then they weren't human beings anymore. They were physiology-free video game characters. So what these wonderful guys who did Obsession is great. Backrooms. You know what the Backrooms are? Spoiler alert.
No, don't tell me. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's the different rooms in your brain, in the human's brain. That's what controls the human. And it's just involving and thought-provoking and interesting, whether you like it or not. And I went to this movie thinking that, oh, please, because I know Kenji wants to do really good work and has done really good work. Okay, this is the movie that it should have been, that would have pleased both you, Phat, and me.
Gotcha.
Not you or me, all of us, by making it smart. I mean, there was my other favorite moment in the movie. By the end of the movie, I was shouting dialogue at the screen, which was where, once the guy came back from the sledgehammer death, he says, evil, evil. And I sort of went, look who's talking. And I wanted Joe to say, look who's talking. Have you seen what you've done? And the other guy, I loved it. The main villain who turns out to be a great fighter, big surprise.
Joey,
Yeah, Joey. He sort of said, my wife was pregnant and you took that from me. And I wanted Joe to say, and what were you going to do with it? Sell it? No, nobody's paying any attention to what's going on. And the last thing that made me laugh out loud is at the end of the movie, after that entire fight scene, the thing on the screen said 1 month later. And my reaction was, 1 month? 1 month? I kept, if you're going to be realistic, we would cut to the graveyard. So, and anyway, it's just, by the end of the movie, I just sort of went, oh, you could have done it. You have the talent, Kenji. Yeah. You could have done it. You didn't do it. And now my fear is, especially because, yes, I hope they do a sequel, and I hope it's good for everybody. But I'm afraid, by looking at the box office and checking the reports, that Lionsgate, who took care of the American the distribution of this film in America, has no reason to do the sequel because it didn't make the money.
It also bombed in Hong Kong and China.
No, in China, it did better in China than anywhere else.
Right, but still, it's not like a big success.
But it's still not. Yeah,
Hong Kong didn't do that well either.
They squandered. They squandered their opportunity. Well, why would Hong Kong? Because again, these people literally. I was reminded when I used to play cops and robbers and soldier with my best friend, and we would, I would punch him, he would punch me, he would punch me, and we would both do what the guys in this movie did, which not react. We would just not react to the punch until I finally went, let's start reacting to the punch. So it makes sense, because I would go, stop it. Let's react to when you hit in the stomach, react as if you're hitting the stomach. Yeah. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm back to this, but again, Kenji was going to save this genre. But now, any of you, just type in Kung Fu into TikTok and watch the films that come up. They're getting more and more realistic and believable. And because the whole gang here should have proven to everyone in the audience and everyone in the industry that you need humans. You need humans in these movies. It doesn't make any sense to just put them in as AI characters, because if you put the humanity in and you put the characters who feel things and emote and think and make the audience think, then that's why you have humans in these movies. But after this movie, there's absolutely no.
So why was John Wick 4? Why was John Wick 3 and 4 so successful?
Because they did something there that you may not have been aware of, but I was aware of. And that is, I love John Wick 4 because
so did I.
Me too.
But maybe not for the same reason I did, which was, do you remember the first speech, Lawrence?
I know your take on it was the Dante's Inferno and stuff.
Dante's Inferno. It was a quote from the first page of Dante's Inferno. And if you know Dante's Inferno, and I've read it, then you know that John Wick 4 was John Wick's Inferno. It made sense that he didn't die because he was in the 7 levels of hell.
Yeah,
and if you count the number of fight scenes in it, and if you notice at the end of the movie, he dies.
So would you have been fine with The Furious if it was a Bollywood film?
We'll get to that because we have a Bollywood film coming up.
Yeah, because Bollywood, fight scenes are way over the top and not realistic, and you're okay with that.
I am okay with that because within their genre, they're doing what they do, which is all of the Bollywood films are musicals.
Wouldn't their stories be stronger too, though, compared to this one?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the only thing that, like, this movie's good, and the story is actually there. We have a plot, but I think because this director is just so concentrated on his stunt work and the choreography.
He's not. That's what I'm saying.
That's how I viewed it. I just viewed it as he looked at it. He wants to put the fights at the forefront and let the story be second. That's how I looked at it.
No, I guarantee you the producers did. Watch Kenji's other movies, the ones that he had freedom. Watch the Rory Kenshin Quartet. He loves doing good work, but you know me, I'm a movie mystery guy. I want to solve the mystery of why it turned out this way. And also, since he had already been shafted by American producers before on his G.I. Joe stuff, my guess is that Lionsgate went, don't do the deep stuff. Don't do the deep stuff. Oh, Frank, we knew this was going to happen.
Okay, so you're just arguing technicality. So it may not be the director's fault, but it's somebody else's fault.
It's the studio's fault. It's the producer's fault.
But my point stands. That's what happened for me. That's how I saw it. Is that somebody fucked up?
It's just like G.I. Joe again. It's just like Snake Eyes again.
Yeah. So while I can admit,
go ahead,
well, I can admit that, like, yes, a lot of the action scenes, a lot of the fight scenes within the choreography, there's not a whole lot of storytelling being done in some of the choreography. I still felt a strong essence, and this was after when I sort of took a minute to sit down and sort of think about what I had watched. I had felt more like the movie had a lot more humanity in it than you could initially give credit for. Like, especially because my favorite character in the movie is the daughter, Anya Yang, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Yeah.
I love the character. I loved her arc. I love that she goes into this, she gets, she's thrown in this basement with all these kids. She's immediately consoling one of the others, and she has anger for the little boy who tricked her.
Right.
And then she throws that away. And
they are sprinkled in there. I mean, you see, like, even when the villain kills his wife, like, I'm like, oh my God, like, that was a gut check, man. I was like, holy cow.
And guess when that ended for me? Guess when the daughter ended for me? When she got a hunting arrow through her 15-year-old leg. And did not react anything like a person who ever got a hunting arrow in their leg at any age. And
well, like, for me, I was
going, and I said, please take the arrow out the front, because they took the back part out, but they still have that front part. Take that out and put it in the guy's eye. Put it in the guy's eye. Nope. 1 month later, she's fine.
And I also didn't like the fact that how come, like, they can speak different languages. All of a sudden she can speak English and Mandarin, and then, like, how, Like, how will she know the other kids are from different? It's supposed. I mean, this is all supposedly set in Thailand. This Southeast Asian country.
Well, the little boy runs up to her and it's like, "Do you speak Chinese?" And she does.
I mean,
Well, you guys at this point, both you and Phat, who love it, and you should.
Yeah.
I always love it when people love movies. And you notice if you ever see me on Facebook, I always say, "I'm glad you loved it. Wish I did."
Right. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that part. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm anything, but my problem is that out of the 5 of us, only 2 of you feel that way. And I'm worried about the future of this genre. I do not want it to become all AI. But if it becomes all AI, I'll take it if it's done well. If we have the equivalent of Chang Che and La Leung and others to direct these AI movies, I'll take my. As a matter of fact, Blades of the Guardians has, and by the way, that's the other thing to be aware of, because China's just waiting. All this, the American studios are all going, no AI, we can't have AI, we'll fight AI to the death. And China's going, whatever, we'll take it. And if you watch Blades of the Guardians, you can see what I call wushu sha, which is they use CGI, they use AI, they use wires. They'll do whatever they want to because they don't want kung fu. They want wushu or wuxia because they want everybody to be a team. But now, since they have all this freedom, they don't mind. I mean, especially in their new movies, I love Zimao's stuff that's on Welgo and on Hi-Yah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Kill or Be Killed 1 and 2.
That's the same girl, too, in the sequel.
I know.
It's the same girl.
and Blade of
the little girl. Yeah,
those are great. Those are great movies. I wish I felt the same about this. I'll stop now.
Okay. So everyone brought up some great points. Everyone did really good. You got David here saying, "What's up, Samurai? The Furious action summer of the year. Not better than the Raid, but it's really good." And Anubis, when you asked me about which one of the 3 I would take, that's a good question because I've had people who did really like the Furious, but one guy told me, I just love the Raid 2, man. You had the car chase, you had the gunfights. He likes more variety, right? And Frank brought up some great points too. To him, the choreography didn't hit. He wants it to be more.
Still very good. I mean, there's nothing really to complain that much about it. But
also remember who directed the Raid 1 and 2.
Yes,
Chris Evans.
Gareth Evans.
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
Humanity.
Right. Well, before we move on to the next one, everybody here brought up some great points. It didn't get as heated as I thought it was going to be, but it's always fun. It's always fun hearing everyone's different takes on things. But Frank, when you brought it up, it not doing well in the box office, that's kind of a huge bummer because it was so nice to see.
I brought that up.
All of the support from the legends. You got Yuan Wah up there. You got Andy Long there. I mean, it was so nice to see everybody, the legends come forward. Even Yuan Wu Ping was recommending The Furious. And it was so cool watching the interviews with Jet Li, really, talking to Xia Miao and basically giving him his flowers and saying, I didn't really need to do anything for you, buddy. You're like, you're on your own. You're making it. You're doing great. And he really gave him his flowers. And then when Jet Li interviewed Kenji as well. And it was interesting because he's saying he's watching it with Jade. The Jade kept covering her face because it was so violent. And he's like, Jade, you gotta watch because we're gonna interview the director. He's like, we gotta watch, which I thought was funny.
Well, again, that tells you everything you need to know.
But Rick,
yes,
are you okay with Jet Li saying this? The Grandmaster, the legend. Are you okay with Jet Li saying this? Yes. In the interview with Kenji, Jet Li said that this was a new genre. He said this is a new genre, and he calls it extreme kung fu. Are you okay with that? Does that make sense? It's not the kung fu that, it's not the Gordon Liu. It's not the Jackie Chan kung fu. It's not the Shaw Brothers kung fu.
I know.
There's extreme kung fu. Is that a good label for this kind of genre?
No, and Jet knows that. And you also know that I know Jet, and I've spoken to him 4 times.
Yes.
And we're good stuff. he was doing what everyone does at studios, because the thing is, the one thing all those people have in common is that they all want including all of us, we all want the genre to survive.
Right.
So what's going to happen is we're going to put on a happy face, except for me. And
well, Jet doesn't have to. Jet doesn't have to.
No,
he's Jet Li.
But he doesn't think he's Jet Li. He doesn't come at himself that way. He's a wonderful man, a great kung fu person. He's going to say what makes. He's not going to do what Frank does, which is this. He's going to do what he does, which is that.
Okay.
And do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? This means our responsibilities are uncovered. This means our responsibilities are covered. He's always going to do what's best for the other person, and he's going to say, and he's going to respect them. And unlike me, so he's saying what he hopes will make them feel good.
I don't know. I kind of like extreme kung fu. I kind of dug it.
Yeah, but the
problem, especially with go ahead.
That you do. Three of us don't.
Right. Well, all I know is when I saw Joey doing his kicks in this fight, I was just like, dude, this is like, not since Ken Lo's kicks in Drunken Master 2 have we seen a main villain at the end of a finale fight use nothing but kicks and be this fantastic. I had people messaging me. They were like, bro, Joey used nothing but kicks majority of that fight. Just like Ken Lo, this is amazing.
If they put it in the right context. If they had surrounded it with humanity rather than inhumanity and stupidity, then it would have worked. But they didn't do that. And I don't blame them, because I know they're all extremely talented. And they probably have the producers going, I like little people hitting each other. I want little people hitting each other, which, by the way, is from Time Bandits. I'm not saying that myself. And so I hope for the best. But again, Phat, my fear is that on the basis of how this did in the movie theaters around the world, this is not going to solve the problem. I wish it did, but they didn't have they had the opportunity, and unfortunately they weren't able to take it. I knew they wanted to, because I've seen.
No, you brought up great points, Rick. Mind Candy is good. That is good.
I'll say one last thing here that I appreciated about it.
Mind and eye candy is perfect together. It's yin yang. You don't want one or the other. You want both.
Go ahead, Tristan, and then we'll move on.
One last thing I appreciated about it here is I've given myself this, like, I don't know, weird personal goal across social media and the internet, TikTok maybe especially, to spread the wealth and joy that I get from martial arts and kung fu cinema with everybody. That's the reason I started the podcast that I do. I welcome you to Kung Fu.
Yeah.
I just want people to experience this. And a lot of people just don't. A lot of people have zero experience with it whatsoever. A lot of people don't pay it any attention. A lot of people honestly don't even know it exists. And this movie has had such good word of mouth, such high praise since its debut at film festivals last year, that mutuals that I have across Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or any of those places, even in real life, who don't watch these movies. They like horror movies. They like the Oscar movies. They like the superhero stuff. They like whatever they can, classics. But they heard such good stuff about this from the people who saw it at the festivals that they went to go see it, and they loved it and they enjoyed it. This movie has. I understand that. I understand. But I've been seeing, and I'm not saying this movie is going to be more successful financially because of those people, but I'm just saying this movie has garnered so much praise. It's something that I appreciated about it as someone who tries to share the wealth, the joy that I have of kung fu and martial arts cinema with many people, that people I know who, again, don't pay any attention to this genre, some that don't even know it exists, got out and saw this movie and had a blast with it. Thought it was great.
That's awesome.
That is my opinion.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That happened with -1. Like, people didn't know too much about the film. They knew about Godzilla, but once they started hearing about the human element of it all, they said, okay,
that's the point. The human element. There you go.
Yeah. The huge difference between Godzilla -1 and this one is that anybody can see Godzilla -1, whether you like monster movies or not, and get it.
Yeah.
And by the way, Freak, I'm way ahead of you. Remember who started all that in this country?
Oh yeah.
4 books, 2 movies, working on all sorts of things or whatever. If I say it, and I may be completely wrong, that without me, there's no you. Because
Dang, come on.
no, I'm afraid it's true, because when I started in 1980,
yes,
there was no other book on this, there was no other subject on this, none of this stuff would ever come. If I hadn't inspired the documentary on Jackie Chan, he never would have broke out in America as well. I was the one who said, you got to see this stuff. But I didn't give them Empty Movement. I gave them La Kala Young. I gave them Jackie Chan. I gave them, Ninja. I gave them the emotional stuff. So any film lover would be able to see it. My concern about this is you show this to film lovers, and you may have gained 1 fan, but you have lost 3.
You want
a movie that gets everybody.
Yeah, but I had similar concerns. Honestly, the first time I saw it, my concerns were, I guess, similar to maybe a different concern, but still regarding the same thing: the fight choreography. I felt like the Kensuke Sonomura style in this was such a
Tanigaki.
Well, Kensuke Sonomura is being with the fight choreography.
Supposedly the choreographer. Yeah.
It was just such a messy hurricane of human bodies that I thought, this is great for somebody who has seen thousands of martial arts films, has gotten used to the Sonomura style, who has gotten used to all these different things that have, the newer stuff, that I thought, I don't think somebody who doesn't watch this stuff is going to see this and know what the hell they're watching. But then I started seeing the reviews come in of people who, again, don't watch this, and they're like, wow, that was great. And no matter if it had that human feeling or not, the human feeling still came from the person who watched it. The person who watched it had that human feeling. The surprise, the shock.
I'll put this
so
way.
The fact that people who don't watch this stuff clicked in, again, I didn't think they would, because it was just so out there. Those people clicked in and they got it.
You named 2 of them.
Name what?
You've named 2 of the people who clicked in. I can name you 6 who didn't. So like I never speak for anyone but myself.
Yeah.
Not try to judge the audience. If this does great on streaming, more power to it. I want it to succeed. Yeah. But don't make these wild exaggerations where the box office doesn't back it up.
No, I'm just going off like my mutuals. I'm just going off my mutuals across socials.
Yeah, he's not going on his own observation. So.
But again, you don't have to defend that. You love it. That's all you need. Pat loves it. That's all we need.
Frank, what did you have to say?
I just want to say another thing that I was just kind of felt odd is Kenji Tanigaki, who's the director in this film. If he can do actual fights in Twilight of the Warriors, why can't he do actual fights more in this film? That's all.
I told you, the usual solution to that question, and it's same with G.I. Joe, is that it was disemboweled. The producer said, you don't have this job unless you do as we say. Because he can do it. We all know he can do it.
Well, I think we got it, and at least we got sort of what you're talking about in quick little scrap between.
We didn't.
Okay, I'll say that the movie got as close as it could to what you're talking about there, with one fight scene. I'll say it was the one between Miao-Tzu and Joe Taslim. And yes, it's messy, but I think it's meant to be messy. And
well, yeah, that one was a little bit more realistic there.
I think that one being as realistic as it can be, and we've seen that again in the Baby Assassins movies and stuff like that. But maybe what it is maybe Kensuke Sonomura's stuff, and I know what you're talking about, like the human emotion, the human reaction to being hit and taking impacts. I understand all that, but maybe Kensuke Sonomura's stuff doesn't work well when you have 5 people doing it at once. Maybe that that's something there.
No, maybe it doesn't work as well when you have producers forcing you to do bad stuff.
Yeah,
and but speak for yourself. You'll never be wrong.
Right.
Okay.
Well, Rick, we all know you've paved the way, and we've learned. You've told us 1,000 times, Rick. You've paved the way, but I'm
Tristan's talking about his experience, and
and I'm talking about mine.
We're talking about hundreds of thousands subscriber, million YouTubers,
and now
millions of subscribers. Like they're out there saying, "Go see the
Let's be
Furious."
honest. I don't think there's a lot of people that hate.
me.
I don't think a lot of people hate the Furious like they do Supergirl right now. So we're good there.
Well, that's a perfect segue because your last comment here. I love the Furious. It was a superhero movie without capes. There you go. Interesting.
Or without
Interesting. Pain. All right. Great points. Now I saw the trailer for Supergirl and I was like, well, this might be fun. It's the early trailer, but I was really more. I have no issues with Supergirl, But I was once I saw Jason Momoa as Lobo, I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. This is great. He's perfect. But even though I was like more positive on the trailer than other people were, my reaction, I think after I watched the trailer, I think I said in my video, probably not going to go see it in theater though. It just didn't get me that excited. So I did not see it. Just letting everybody know that's watching. Spoiler alert for Supergirl. Those who have seen it, Frank, we'll start with you. Thoughts on Supergirl?
I think Rick was right on the money when he mentioned that I don't want a Mad Max movie. I don't want a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I don't want a True Grit remake. I want a Supergirl movie. Now, first, right off the bat, she's good. The girl who plays Supergirl, she's the best thing about this film. I think it was good casting. I think she was great. She's different, and I like my comic book story dark. I'm a big fan. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Snyderverse, so I like the darkness in this film.
Yeah.
But just the story, again, child trafficking again, girl trafficking. It's also like we just saw The Furious, which has essentially the same plot.
Right.
Then we came to here, and oh my God, once again, another trafficking story. The villain was lame. I never felt the villain is just an asshole. It's not a villain, he's just an asshole. And there's also the story, and the script was horrible. The script was absolutely horrible. And then one thing that I really they kept talking about how she needs a son to gain power back and all that. And also the dog got poisoned, right? So how come she could recover so quickly when she got when she was poisoned like 3 times at the climax? And she just recovered just like that. It makes no sense. If the dog, right? If Krypto supposedly has the same, Krypto also came, the dog also came from Kryptonite, right? So if the dog and her has the same kind of superpower, how come the dog got poisoned by 1 dart, would die within 72 hours, and then she got 3 darts on her body, and then she recovered within 2 minutes? It doesn't make sense, So I thought the bus scene was it was the best. Early on in the film when she was in the bus with all these aliens and stuff, that was the best scene, really. But other than that, and the action is so poorly edited, poorly cut. It's like you can't see what's going on. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, man. But and I just thought that
somebody actually compared it to John Wick.
I know. Yeah, you look at exactly. You look at films like John Wick where the action is so clear, you can see everything clear. You understand what's going on. You understand the logic. Understand physics. Here it's just like they started a move, they started fighting, and then in the middle they cut to something else entirely. It's like, why aren't you continuing that fight? Why aren't you continuing the move? Why is logically you should follow the fight, but no, they cut to somewhere else. But
I hate that.
Yeah, I mean, I know. And so, like I said, she's really the only good part about the film. Lobo, again, it's almost like they were worried that no man is going to go see this film. So they put in Lobo, and of course, Jason Momoa,
Let me guess. He's in the movie for 5 minutes.
He was in 3 scenes. Supposedly, they actually added 1 extra scene, because they're not sure whether that's enough. So they actually added 1 extra scene with him. But, he should have got his own movie, to be honest. But yeah, so I think she, like I said, Supergirl, the actor was really the only good thing about the film. I mean, the scene with Superman were good too. And it's like when you see those flashback scenes with Superman, again, it makes you wonder, how this movie could have been, And
Copy that. That's unfortunate. Tristan, thoughts on Supergirl?
I adore.
This question's for you. This is questions for you, Tristan.
Oh, is better Snake Eyes or Supergirl? That problem. I'll tell you. Well, that's difficult. That's really difficult. That's honest. I will say that I am very angry with both of them for very different reasons. I adored this book. It is a beautiful book in both imagery and writing. It is amazing.
Yeah.
This movie is worse in every single way pretty much possible. It is the image, just from an image perspective. Again, this book is so colorful, it's so vibrant, it's gorgeous on every single page. This movie is brown and gray. The book is this mythological odyssey from planet to planet. And over this whole journey, it's a lesson on grace and atonement. Whereas the movie chooses vengeance and death. It's the movie I already was not having. I already was frustrated with the overall tone and the experience of the film.
Yeah.
But that ending, again, the book is about grace and atonement. The movie chose death. Yeah. The movie chose death and revenge. And again, my wife
really,
she was. My
so
wife
that's
was
the theme.
very. It's
the theme.
Honestly, there is.
They said fuck the theme by the end of the movie, basically.
Right. She killed the
so I said, at first I thought, oh, this movie misunderstands the book, and then I thought about it and I was like, no, this movie rejects the book.
Oh no.
My wife loved this book so much she was crying by the end. And in the end of this,
I think I have
movie,
heard that James Gunn actually purposely didn't follow the book.
At the end, well, that was a serious mistake. But like, my wife loves this book so much she cried from this book. And at the end, when she kills the villain, my wife turned to me and mouthed, "What the fuck?" Because even my wife looked at it and she was like, "That's just rejecting the whole purpose of the adventure."
But let me ask you, does it make sense then in Man of Steel for Superman to have killed Zod?
No. Just no.
Oh, that never. Yeah.
I didn't really mind it, but yeah, it's me.
And I mean, there's more issues than that. You know, like you talked about the villain just being the villain. I knew there was a mistake as soon as they made him super powered, because in the book, the villain is just a guy. Which, first of all, that really says something to like, hey, you don't need some superpowered villain that can ruin your life. Sometimes it can just be the dude down the street makes one decision and all of a sudden you're miserable.
Lex Luthor.
But yeah, sure. And so like the villain, what makes him so bad in the book is that he is just a guy, but he's a guy who every single decision in his life is cruelty and negativity.
And stupidity.
You don't need a superpowered villain when your villain is just a guy who every day wakes up and decides to be an asshole. It's just every single decision this movie made, visually, storytelling, all of it was worse than the book. But like you said, Frank, Millie Alcock, she's good. I have zero problem with her. It's just everything else around her is bad.
Oh man.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. Anubis, did you see it?
I have not. I've just been keeping an eye on everybody talking, because whenever it comes to comic movies, everyone has their say, you know?
Rick, I just saw something posted. Let me know. You're probably most likely going to talk about it, but go ahead.
When he posted what?
No, I'm seeing that the screenwriter, apparently this is her first script for a movie. Mm-hmm. And apparently they're saying in this post, apparently she did not understand the ending of the book.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, again, I think here's the thing about the internet. The internet is so pervasive at this point. I always say when somebody says somebody on the internet said it was great, someone on the internet said it was bad, I was going, you will always find that on the internet at this point. Right. I call it so me. So me. Social media. And so everybody, putting any faith or trust in what something you read on the internet is, if you'll excuse the expression, a fool's game. But because
unless it's true.
But unless no.
Okay.
Unless you agree with it. It's the individual. It can't be true. because we've already discovered that some things that are true for some of us here are not true for some of the others of us here. It's all an individual decision. But I can't trust the internet. I put no faith in it, so I don't listen to it. And I see all these glowing reviews of Supergirl. Well, here we go. I started my career, my professional career, in 1973 in comic books in New York. I've worked at DC. I've worked at Marvel. The company I started with was Atlas. And then I went to work for Starlog magazine, and they made me the sole reporter for a little movie they were making in 1978 called Superman. Yeah. And they had me come out to the set at the Pinewood Studios, the place where I love because of James Bond, and be on the set of Superman for a month. And the day before the movie premiered in New York, I was in Christopher Reeve's apartment. And my favorite, I said, after tomorrow, we'll never see each other again. And he went, oh, no, sure we will. No problem. Yeah, guess what? Anyway, but I saw Richard Donner again after that, and that was awesome. So that was, and also, if you guys don't know this, when I was on the set, Peter Boyle played Lex Luthor's assistant.
Oh, yeah, you told us that, yeah.
And it would have been a perfect movie at that point. Because
he was like a henchman, right?
Yeah, he was a hulking henchman. And they had worked on Young Frankenstein together. And also he was realistic, and it was also a great balance. And then when he had to leave the production because they went over schedule, they brought in Ned Beatty, who I loved.
Otis.
And Otis, unfortunately, does not exist in reality. And so be that as it may. But that's Superman.
Supergirl.
So I'll never get over all the stuff that James Gunn has been doing, because I think he's been cheapening the best. But then again, what I discovered from Superman and virtually every other DC movie that was made after that is that Warner Brothers are experts at sabotaging their DC comics for some reason, because basically, my experience out in Hollywood was 75% of the producers and the executives were venal backstabbers, and 25% were geniuses. But the venal backstabbers were dedicated to sabotage the geniuses. And I saw what they were doing to Richard Donner. But Richard Donner is an amazing guy who handled it. But of course, one day on set, I turn around and there is Richard Lester, who I loved. Richard Lester made A Hard Day's Night. He made The Three Musketeers. He made, all these wonderful, wonderful movies that I adored. I'm going, what are you doing here? And he would only talk to me in private when no one else was around. And he was basically said, I'm here because the producers of this movie cheated me out of the money for the Three Musketeers that I made for them, and they turned my one movie into two movies, but didn't pay me for two movies, paid me for one movie. So they said, well, come and help us on Superman, and we'll pay you for that. But what he was actually was a spy for the producers, whose job it was to sabotage, well, not his job, he had to just sort of be a liaison between Donner and the producers, so the producers could continue to sabotage. And then this future was set. I could tell you stories of virtually every bad DC movie up until today, including Supergirl. And so I figured the odds are always terrible for the DC comic movies, because once the producer knows that he can fuck up something and screw somebody, they're dedicated to that. And I can tell you stories about Disney, which was able to keep away from that for many years, and that's why they had the great Marvel stuff. But you could also see when Marvel would fall apart, that was backstage sabotage as well.
So Rick, what went wrong with Supergirl?
With Supergirl, they had to find some way to screw it up. And even now, if you just nominally doing minor research on the internet, you'll see that there are stories of a full half hour being taken out. You can tell by just watching it that it's a mess. The characters are not doing anything They're not fulfilling. They're not paying off their setups. They're just doing.
Oh, like scenes were missing. Like,
yeah.
okay, we're here now.
You could tell they were missing.
Wow.
And the characterizations were changed. I mean, the stuff you can do in an editing room is astonishing.
Right.
And this, I could tell by watching this. And as you pointed out, Film Freak, it was so muddy looking, because I love that book too. I love that comic, Woman of Tomorrow. I love Man of Tomorrow as well. And when I saw this, I was trying to remember the moment in the movie, probably from the very first shot, because it was so. Where's the beautiful colors? I was hoping and expecting. So it was a sabotage job. And also the screenwriter, who had never done another screenplay, she was an actress. She wasn't a writer. She was an actress who was used by and Greg Gillespie. I mean, when James Gunn wasn't listed as screenwriter or director, I said, "Oh dear." And I watched this, but thankfully they immediately showed their true colors, and I just sort of, well, I'll make do with what I can get. And of course, Lobo was fun, and yeah, but that moment when the whole moral of the movie, she spends the entire movie convincing the girl whose family, the girl in the background there, convincing that girl not to kill the villain. Don't kill the villain. You'll regret it. You'll regret it. And I'm sitting in the audience and I'm going, no, you won't. You'll regret it if you don't kill him.
Yeah.
Because all you'll see, she's saying, oh, he'll come back in your dreams. I said, no, her family will come back in her dreams and say, why didn't you avenge us? We're living here in hell because you. And then at the end of the movie, after all this, every time it came out of Supergirl's mouth, I'm going, why are you lying to her? I kept waiting for a scene where she would explain to Crypto why she's lying to this girl.
And also the scene where the girl said, well, what happened to Krem?
Yeah. Oh, nothing.
Oh, no, I let him go.
Yeah.
Like a James Bond quip. Oh, I let him go.
And then when she kills him, and again, as Freak pointed out, completely counter to the book. Totally and utterly counter to the book. I mean, it was such an insult to the writers and the artists of that book. I hope they make money, but at least, unlike certain other things I can name, if they go and read the book, they will be vastly rewarded.
And also the whole point of the film, like the pounding your head about, oh, is Supergirl eventually going to be good? Yeah. Like she's going to get rid of her booze. This kind of lifestyle, this self-abandonment lifestyle becomes good, like her cousin. And here she kills the villain.
Guess what I said at the end? When she was giving her speech to Superman, I said, I don't care. Because I don't like you. And it was interesting what happened. I was at a packed house. We were in a Dolby theater. And it was a mob scene. And you could hear the audience. I was in the fourth row. You could hear the audience behind me wanting to like it and reacting to things more than they perhaps should have because they wanted to like it. Yeah. But by the middle of the movie, a tangible pall had fallen over the theater.
Oh, no.
And at the end, when the lights came up, people got out and shuffled out. Literally, I wish I had taken a video, shuffled out of the theater like there were zombies. And I went, and usually what happens to me when I'm at these theaters is that I always go, how'd you like it? How'd you like it? How'd you like it? What do you think? And I get into conversations with them.
Yeah.
And I just took one look at everybody and went, I'm not talking. And really, I went to the bathroom afterwards, and they would all come shambling in, and they didn't say a word, and they would just piss. They were literally pissed.
Oh, no.
Anyway, go on.
This did worse than the Marvels, didn't it?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Did worse than Mobius.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
This did worse than... It's Morbid time?
Because what happened is, because I went on the second day. And unfortunately, it's the same, because I saw The Furious on Monday.
Right.
And that's why I had 3 people, because the majority of people came out and didn't. They said, should we see it? And unfortunately, to my mind, I'm not speaking for myself, and I apologize for that, but on the basis of the box office, they didn't tell their friends they should see it. And Lord knows, they definitely said that for Supergirl.
Oh, dear God. Frank, is this true, Rick?
Yeah, supposedly.
Oh dear God!
Supposedly
Well-
he's working on Wonder Woman, but I probably put on hold now.
Well,
You know.
but remember what's happening. Warner's and Paramount are supposed to unite.
Yeah.
And if they do, I'm pretty sure the first thing Paramount will do is
These guys got to go.
to DC.
Yeah.
You know, we have to
Copy that.
reboot it.
Yeah. Whatever
Copy
reboot
that.
it, finish your Man of Tomorrow. That's it. You know.
Maybe not.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah, I thought they were kind of tied to Gunn for a while. That was
Batgirl is
my-
gone.
What about-
you know,
Yeah. What about the Brave and the Bold? Aren't they going to supposed to make a Batman and Robin movie? The Brave and the Bold.
that's already gone.
Okay.
That's already gone.
That's probably
Yeah.
smart.
No, they look at who's coming to the theaters,
Right. Right.
and they
right,
want to make movies for them, not for us anymore.
Right.
And that's the
All right.
feeling I got at the theater. Like you said,
Yep.
when I saw all these kids seeing Backroom and Obsession, I feel like shit. I feel old.
Well, I mean-
I strongly suggest if you haven't seen Backrooms or Obsession, you see them.
Well, feeling old, we're going to segue to Masters of the Universe now.
Oh my god! Oh my
Actually,
god!
can we do Disclosure Day first? Because I'm
Oh,
leaving.
yes.
I
If you wanna
gotta
leave.
go.
If
So-
you
We're
wanna
gonna
get out
we're
of
gonna we'll
Sorry.
come back to Masters.
which I didn't see, Master. I didn't see Master. So
Disclosure Day.
Yeah.
Bam, Frank. I didn't even know this movie came out, and I didn't even know Steven Spielberg did this movie. And
the-
I was like, wait a minute, Steven Spielberg's got a sci-fi alien movie out. Like, what's going on?
all right, did any of you see this film?
I
No.
saw it.
No,
I did
You
not.
saw it?
Rick.
Okay, Rick saw it. Okay, good. So
I don't
saw
care
it.
about spoilers.
And Freddie,
Go
you
ahead.
saw it? Good.
all right, so this to me it was almost like an X-Files episode.
Okay.
Yeah, this was like when Spielberg did the X-Files episode. It was good, and I think you know the payoff was. I mean, it was worth waiting for the payoff. I think that the final moment when Disclosure, when the
Yeah.
I mean the whole point is about the world knowing that aliens exist. That was
Right.
the whole point of the film.
Okay.
And so, but that whole sequence of them telling the world that aliens exist, that was very well done. I thought that was a good payoff. Like it kind of reward your patience for slogging through the film to that big payoff, there were times in the film where I mean, no, I enjoyed it. This is second tier Spielberg for me, and I think that second tier Spielberg is better than a lot of movies out there. Okay, second tier Spielberg, but it just feels like there were some. I mean, I think the script has some problem. The script was always just hinting at stuff that you kind of have to pick up. It's not very straightforward in terms of what they're trying to tell you. So it's almost like that whole background scenario about World War III, the Korean. Because there's a scene where Emily Blunt and Wyatt Russell, who played her husband, went to this gas station and people were grabbing stuff grabbing grabbing food and stuff.
I
Supplies.
was wondering why they were grabbing stuff.
And you thought, well, how come they were doing that? Did they know the aliens are coming? And it turns out, no, they were doing it because of the impeding Korean war, the war of the Koreans. But the
Yeah, I
film
guess
never, the film didn't really specifically tell you that. So you kind of have to figure it out on your own. Oh, they're stocking up because of they think the war is going to happen with the Korean. So it's like that. There's a lot of subtle stuff in the film that you kind of have to catch it on your own. And that train sequence was pretty good, well done. Of course, it's its own homage to Duo. In the Duo, the guy was being chased by a truck.
Nice. All right.
But the chase never kind of took place in that film. Here, it was kind of like, what if that chase happened, and that was what if he actually got pushed onto the train track, and this was what happened when you see it in Disclosure Day.
Okay.
But I thought it was good. It was worth seeing. Again, it could have been better, I thought, and yeah, it's just like I said, it's Spielberg Light, and like I said, Spielberg Light is better than quite a bit of the movies out there. So I don't know whether this will be on top 10 list there. I have to see how the other films that are coming out.
Honorable
do
mention,
well.
maybe.
Yeah, honorable mention maybe.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. But again, when I was watching this film, I also felt like this is not a film made. No, this is not a film for young people. Once again, this is for people like us who grew up watching Spielberg, who knew his style.
You're old, Tristan.
Yeah, so
29.
that's it.
I'm just kidding. Tristan's the baby among us.
But that's fine.
I'll be
That's my
30
thought.
in August.
Man, it's over when you're 30, bro. Just pack it up.
Let
All
me
right,
know
so-
when you get to 56.
So let's hear what Rick has to say.
All right.
No,
Rick-
no. Let's hear what Tristan has to say.
Oh, Rick, you didn't
Oh,
see
it's
it?
Tristan saw it.
No, I
Okay.
saw it, but he saw it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, go for it. Be honest.
It was enjoyable enough through most of it, but I'll say the positivity being like, you know, the action scenes, you know, the car chase, him ramming the car through the house twice, the whole train thing, that successfully captured the adventure that Steven Spielberg is very good at. I had a lot of fun in those moments. Steven Spielberg is very good at capturing that sense of adventure. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
But like the actual overall like message of the movie through like the first, I don't know, 50, 60 minutes, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling it. I get it. I'm feeling it. I get it. But then by the end, I was like, no, I think it went over my head. Something went over my head. But then thinking about it more, I was like, no, I don't think it went over my head. I think it never got off the runway. I think it just crashed and burned. Like, as we were going along the runway, I was like, yeah, we're going somewhere. And then we just never got off that runway. So it was completely fine. I don't know if I would completely recommend it to anybody, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
I also just want to point out Emily Blunt was quite good in this film. Blunt
she's
She
good.
is.
Yeah,
She is.
But here's the the metaphor is great. Both of you guys, I think, got it on the money, except the big difference for me was that, yeah, we're going to take off. We're going to take off now. We're on the runway. But it doesn't crash and burn in any way, shape, or form. It just stops. Mm-hmm. It just slows to a stop and sits on the tarmac for the next 8 hours while you're waiting for it to take off. And my favorite thing was at the end, I mean, it was good. Spielberg, as you've said, it was fun to watch his craftsmanship and to see him back doing it again, because he's even older than me.
He's 80.
Yeah. So that's cool. But that I love the last line. And and because Frank, and also that you know me, I replied. When she says what she says, I replied. Can you guess what I said?
No.
Okay. I went, okay.
Oh, okay. I think you said no.
I said, I'm listening. No, I'm not going to say no. Absolutely not. I'm going to say, okay, I'm listening. And then.
No, I don't. No. No, the point of that word, listen, was I know why he ended on that thing, because this was the very first time that aliens can finally communicate with humans through them. Right? You know, alien taught math to the guy. The guy then speaks to Emily Blunt in English, and Emily speaks to us. Right. So that's the importance of that word listen. It's like, now you got to listen now, because now we can communicate. So as to what happened.
In Arrival, Amy Adams could do both of those things.
That's right.
right. But I mean, as to what happens after that, now that we can communicate with each other, what happens that Spielberg's kind of like you think about, like it's up it's up to you to think what will happen after that, whether it's going to be friendly or foe, what have you. But I know why he ended on that point. But still, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was good, but also one last thing, I'm gonna go. I really thought that he should have tied this in with Close Encounters. I think,
of course,
because that guy, the math guy, he really should have been that kid from Close Encounters.
That would have been cool.
All grown up.
At one point, you see like ships all over the world, and I swear one of the ships was the Close Encounters ship.
Right. There were several references there. We're not alone. Like the one character saying, "We're not alone." The house looking like the lady's house from Close Encounters.
I thought for a moment, like they wheel out the alien at the end. I thought it was going to be like a deep fake Richard Dreyfuss.
I know. I thought so too.
So you do see the alien at the end?
Yes.
Did somebody come out of nowhere
you see an alien,
knock out the alien and go,
welcome to Earth? The movie makes no mystery of what it's about. Like 15 minutes in, you see like secret government footage from the 60s of aliens and stuff. Like there's no mystery to it.
Right. So the whole point of the movie is really what will happen if the rest of us finds out. That was the whole point. They were trying to, it's the
why there was controversy between that and religion. It was a big deal.
Right. So it was the Colin Firth guys trying to prevent that from happening. us from finding out, and of course Emily Blunt trying to let and the math guy trying to let other people know there are aliens out there. So that's the whole point of the movie. But yeah, like Tristan said, 15 minutes in, we already knew aliens exist. So yeah.
The only problem with the movie is that there's no happy ending.
Rick, do you recommend Disclosure Day?
Perfect for streaming. When it comes in free, when it comes into the house free, take a look, and you can stop watching if you don't. If you could play on your phone or whatever. Yeah, it's perfect for that.
Okay, Frank, always an honor to have the legend here talking movies. Frank, before you go, I'm surprised you're leaving. We got like 5 more hours, man. But Frank, before you go, let everybody know. Boom, baby! Let them know.
Today's the day.
Woo!
Today is the release date of the Jackie Chan Breakout Head, where I worked on it for over a year. Actually, we started working on it in early 2025. We started interviewing people in 2025. Did the commentary with FJ, and now finally is here.
And it's insane, and you can buy it now on Amazon and everywhere else. It's an insane box. Insane in the membrane. Oh yeah. So check it out, pick it up, buy it, and check out, of course, you got to hear Frank Djeng commentary now. He's the commentary beast.
And FJ. Yep.
Yeah. And FJ. Shout out to FJ too. Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right, Frank. Love you, brother. See you.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care, man.
Bye.
See you in 21 days.
Thought that guy would never leave. God.
I like that.
All right. Next up, we have
Back to Masters.
Oh yeah, Back to Masters. We'll probably have to speed run some of this stuff because I don't know how long I have you, Rick. I know you got things to do.
No, I don't.
But Masters Universe, bam. I was a fan of the old Dolph Lundgren one. It's got flaws. Yes, I grew up with the cartoon, loved it, had the toys. But believe it or not, Rick, I actually forgot there was a movie coming out.
Right.
I honestly forgot about it because I know there was like years ago. They're like, yeah, we got a movie, but then it fell apart. And I was just like, I completely forgot. So when the trailer for this just came out of nowhere, I was like, there's a message. Oops, sorry. I forgot to click that. That's the Angry Joe's Supergirl review. And he's a huge diehard Supergirl fan. And he gave it 4 out of 10. He was not happy. Sorry, I forgot to click that. But yeah, I was like, there's a trailer? Like, what are you talking about? And I saw the trailer and I was like, this looks fun as hell. We went to go see it in the movies and it was fun as hell. I really enjoyed it. I expected them to poke fun at the cartoon. I was actually kind of hoping they would poke fun at certain things in the cartoon. Skeletor was great. I thought Skeletor was amazing. And, there's a lot of comedy in it. And comedy's subjective, right, Rick? So there's a lot of things we found funny and we were bust a gut laughing. And there's some jokes just didn't land. But overall, I had an absolute blast with it. I loved it. So,
well, that's Rick? Awesome. Did anybody else see it?
Yes, I did.
What you think?
Oh,
go for it, Tristan.
Tristan's like, what the fuck
I'll say
was this?
It's too long. It's too dang long. And you feel every minute of it. It's enjoyable. I like a good amount of the action was quite good. Most of the characters are fine. It's just I don't know. I think that, like you said, some comedy doesn't work. There's like one specific moment. I was having a lot of fun, like that whole intro of him as a kid as Skeletor like takes over Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
And like that whole sequence, I was like, this is really, I'm having so much fun. It's so good. And then the moment Skeletor and I want to say Evilise, but that's a pro wrestler. What's the woman's name?
Evelyn. Yeah.
Evelyn. Evilise is a pro wrestler. Evelyn and him crack like a joke. And immediately I was brought down. I was like, oh, we're doing that. That was bad. That was a really bad joke. But the movie, it has its highs and lows. It picks up, it drops, it picks up, it drops. And again, it's like 25 to 30 minutes too long. And I really felt every single second of it.
But did you like it? Be honest, you hated it.
Better than Disclosure Day.
Better than Disclosure Day.
Better than Disclosure Day and Supergirl.
Right. Well, again, totally get it. Totally understand. But this is little 5-year-old me.
I was going to say also, I'm sure I have much less experience with the franchise than some people here. I'll say my experience was we did have some toys in the house growing up that I would play with.
all right.
I always liked my Battle Cat toy. It was probably a hand-me-down plus a hand-me-down, another hand-me-down.
Yeah.
And then there's a really solid
era of He-Man.
It might have been. But there's also a really solid animated show from like, I don't know, 8 years ago on Netflix. That also was a lot of fun. I like that show a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I for me, like I was never a big fan of the show, like cartoon series. I didn't like the Lundgren version at all. Yes. I don't know why some people do. It's kind of like the same reason I like the Goonies, which I don't like.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. But so I got a chance to check it out today. It's not horrible, but I think I agree with these guys. That's a little bit too long. Okay. I thought Leto was actually great as Skeletor. I really enjoyed him as Skeletor. I thought he did a good job with that. So once the comedy kicked in, I said, okay, this is where we're going with this. So just like what Tristan said, like I knew this is what was going to happen. Because at first it's doing this like semi-serious vibe. And then all of a sudden you're starting to get these like one-liners like, oh boy, okay, here we go. So just sit back, let it do its thing. And that's about it. So it's not horrible, but it's not the greatest movie either. So, I did like it better. I did like it better than Lundgren's. I did like it better than that.
And that's why you were able to watch it today.
Yeah.
Because, it did not succeed. It was not successful in the cinemas. And so it's come out on streaming already. My issue now, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, and I may be, but my memory of the show is that the kid who would become He-Man was pretended he was an idiot to cover up the fact that he was He-Man. So nobody would know.
They made fun of that at the end of the show. At the end of the movie, they made fun of that.
Well, and also my favorite scene in the whole movie is when he runs into Dolph Lundgren in the gym.
Wasn't that great?
That was a great sequence.
That was amazing.
But for the rest of it, again, if you heard my other criticism, you'd see what my problem with this is.
Okay.
Why is this kid... I mean, I thought are they going to reveal that this kid is autistic? Because his behavior, and at the beginning, he's behaving like a spoiled, stupid child. And I said, all right, show me why he's behaving like a spoiled, stupid child. But then his father comes in, and then his friend comes in, his female friend, and then his mother comes in, and they're all great. Yeah. I'm saying, did the nursemaid drop him on his head? I mean, why does he behave like this? And then when he comes to America, like, well, I got a sword, and it's just like I didn't understand. I mean, basically for me, the movie was ruined by his performance. I'm sure he didn't want it. I mean, I'm sure he was instructed to do that. I'm pretty sure he didn't come in and go, I'm going to play it like I'm not going to use a bad word. I'm going to play it like an idiot.
Yeah.
But, he played it like an idiot. And it was like, everybody else, I thought it was good. I thought if you had just been the center of the film, if you had been the backbone, this would have been a good movie and you wouldn't have gone on streaming so quickly. But he wasn't, so it didn't. Let's carry on.
Right. Well, some of the other complaints I saw was they thought they thought Prince Adam was charming. They liked the actor.
Yeah.
But their complaint was when he became He-Man, he was still the same.
Yeah.
That was the complaint.
Well, it's hilarious. Like I was laughing the whole movie because like they've tried to play him off as weak and defenseless, and he's in the gym and he's like, do you have any tips for me, as he's sitting there with guns on his arms. But it's like, and like there's just moments where like he's wearing a baggy shirt, but sometimes it gets a bit restricted and you just see like just massive huge biceps. I'm like,
let's just admit though, the best line in this was, you fist people.
And then Fisto turns to Ram Man, and what he says, he said, give him head.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun movie. I loved it. My wife went crazy when the whole She-Ra thing in the end credits, so which we're probably not going to see now. But
no, you're not.
She was still happy to see it. Oh, I had one thing here before we move on. Oh no, did I lose it?
Do you remember what it was?
Oh, I saw this post And of course, it's on the internet, Rick. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. Don't know if it's real or not.
A salt lick.
But if this is real, is this cope? Amazon is moving forward with a He-Man sequel, despite it not making money because of all the positive feedback from the critics and the audience.
No, there was no. Let me put it this way. I will say what I always
Rotten
say
Tomatoes score, Rick.
when I see something like this, which is, well, if the internet says it, it must be true.
If it's true, does this sound like cope? Like they're coping?
So what I
heard about it wasn't a failure at all. What are you talking about?
They're making
it's not unheard of for them to go and make sequels to movies that were bad.
Every one of these.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Well, nowadays it is. Nowadays it is. You don't make
Maybe
a sequel to a failed movie today.
Rick, maybe straight to streaming movie sequel.
Who knows? But let me say the other thing that I say. I'll believe it when I see it.
Word.
So what I heard sort of going on with stuff like this and is that like these tech companies who movie production, TV production is not their core source of income, is a lot of them like Apple don't really give a shit. Like Apple doesn't give a shit about 99% of of what's on Apple TV, because that's not what most of their money's coming in from. Most of their money's coming in from the tech products and stuff like that. So they'll be like, yeah, we just need something to put on the streaming service, or we just need something to put on here. Like they'll keep putting stuff on there, even if it's not actually making the money, because at the end of the day, that's not where most of the money's even coming from.
Well, that's true. However,
Yeah.
Apple does care, and you can tell from who they hire to make those things. Apple TV's stuff is of a uniform high quality and gets good. So it's not like they don't care. It's just that this is just another thing, and they leave it to the people who do care. Unlike some companies where it's not ego based. Let us carry on.
Next up, I've only seen the first one when it came out. I thought it was funny. Ha. I have not seen the sequels. And now we are back with another one. I don't know how many years later, but Scary Movie 6, I believe.
It will do. Anybody seen it, DJ?
Not yet.
Okay. I saw it.
Okay.
It's made the money it's made because it is what it is. In other words, they delivered. It's very clear that the three screenwriters and the director were all incredibly high during the writing and making of the movie. But that's fine.
Okay.
Apparently, the majority of their viewers were too. And as such, it has just enough smiles. I think I chuckled once.
Okay.
But, it was not boring. It wasn't brilliant. It wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't boring. And all they had to do is play to their audience.
Yeah, I remember doing a trailer reaction. I wanted to see it because it was just so funny. They weren't holding back. They were just doing their thing and just going at it.
Yeah, and I love that poster. The reason I chose that poster is that they were telling the truth in this poster. Scary movie. You won't find any substance here.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Let me guess. All the funny parts were in the trailer, probably. I wonder.
More than likely. But at the same time, it was clear sometimes when they're having fun, it's enough.
Right.
And they were clearly having fun, especially since the Wayans weren't in the last couple of them. So they were brought back to bring it back. So they were feeling good. And that Bon Ami went into the audience.
Okay. All right. Next up, Rick, this franchise, at some point, people were saying this is one of the greatest movie trilogies ever made. And then they fucked it up with the fourth movie.
No, they didn't.
Okay. This is what I'm hearing people say.
Yes, again.
And so I'm like, wait a minute. If I thought the fourth one was bad, there's a fifth one? Rick, educate us on Toy Story 5.
There's absolutely, Toy Story 5 is a lot like the cinema of La Calle Young. It's a lot like the cinema of Jackie Chan. It's a lot like the cinema of awesomeness. What happens is that these people wind up competing with themselves.
Okay.
And because they make such high quality work that when one doesn't match up to Drunken Master 2, then they say, oh, this sucked. And it didn't suck. It just wasn't as good as Drunken Master 2. But then again, what could be? So what happened with Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, and it's the same thing with the Marvel stuff. The Marvel was, I thought, just was absolutely awesome until Avengers Endgame. And it just built and built and built, and that was magnificent. Then afterwards, it wasn't as good as Endgame. Of course it wasn't. But be that as it may. So here, it's true. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 is unarguably one of the great trilogies ever made. It is so extraordinarily satisfying, extraordinarily creative, incredibly effective. It touches, I mean, I love going to movie theaters for Avengers Endgame and for the Toy Story trilogy, in that everyone in the theater is one person. No matter how young they are, whatever race they are, whatever sex they are, by the end of that movie, you're all one. I'll never forget Avengers Endgame, where everyone, and I saw it 3 times to see whether this was all true, everyone laughed, cried, and cheered at the same time. And they did all 3 of those things during the movie. Toy Story, yes. So what happened was, of course, the trilogy was brilliant. And everybody at Pixar was sort of saying, we've accomplished a miraculous thing. And unlike Marvel's movies, they weren't rewarded for it the way Pixar. They won the Oscars every year. They just everybody, and they made billions of dollars, billions, I should say, not millions, billions. But then Bob Iger left the company, and they replaced him with a gentleman named Bob Chapek, who seemed to be intent on sabotaging everything he could get his hands on. And you watch what happens after that, and you can see it all going down. And everything that was coming out was failing, because I tend to believe there's just something about, Orson Welles said this many years ago, Hollywood is not about money. It has never been and never will be about money. Hollywood is about ego. And so when these insecure producers see an opportunity to destroy something, especially destroy something that people love, they'll do what they can. So what happened was that Chapek didn't put out 4, but Iger, within 2 years, Chapek was out and Iger was back in. And at that point he goes, all right, damage control. I got to turn this boat around as fast as I can. And if you know anything about film production, it's not easy to turn the boat around fast. So basically he said, let's get our most successful things. Let's do what we can to do a sequel to get our people back, our betrayed people, back into the cinemas. So what I loved, so I went to see Toy Story 4. Was it as good as Toy Story 1, 2, and 3? Of course it wasn't. But it was still better than anything that had been put out prior to that.
All right.
And one thing I noticed immediately with number 4 is that it was the story of them saving Toy Story. It was the story, it was, Woody had to say, the whole movie was basically tells the story of what happened to Toy Story, the movie, in Toy Story 4. So it wasn't as good, but by the end of it, I was going, that was astonishingly ballsy of you guys to make a movie about what happened to you.
Wow.
So then again, because things are getting tough in the film business, all these things are happening. Marvel is not going to. They said, well, we've got to do another 5. We've got to have we have to have guaranteed money coming in. So 5 was again they got these 2 wonderful people who had not done a Toy Story before. Where's my toy? It was the guy who created Wall-E, Finding Nemo, and A Bug's Life, as well as, and his partner was a female co-director. She hadn't done anything before except TV shows. But this is what they're doing now. They're teaming up with the novices, with the veterans, and they're teaching them, Padawan, they're teaching them everything they know. And so Toy Story 5 is, again, they came up with a wonderful concept, which is, of course, the iPad, the toys versus, all the stuff.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And again, brilliant. And
all right.
There's a wonderful character, and
it's like, is it do kids play with toys anymore kind of argument, right?
That's right.
They're all
and
like this.
They're not.
Oh, okay.
But also it's brilliant because, again, humanity. The leading character who you've seen, who got all these toys in number 4 from the boy who gotten too old for them, she hasn't been able to make any friends in their new neighborhood. But once she got this thing, she could disappear into that. And there's this wonderful sequence with her with all these other people who could have been her friend, but they're all looking at the screen. And so all the toys have to find out their existence in this life. They also have a wonderful character voiced by Conan O'Brien, which is a potty training toy.
Conan.
It's better than
That's
4.
great. Okay.
Nothing will ever be as good as 1, 2, or 3, but it deserves to be in the neighborhood. And also that's going to be in my top 10 list.
Nice.
I mean, it's just it gets better the more I think about it.
Copy that. Tristan, did you see the movie?
I did not. I just could not muster the interest to go see it.
Copy that. Well, now we know it's good, so we can definitely check it out later.
If you want to, you don't have to. If you don't want to, if it's not your thing, don't do it. Don't worry about it.
Guys, Rick said I had to.
Yeah, that's it, man. You're screwed. You got to go see it.
No,
Clockwork Orange style.
No,
you got to sit in the theater, eyelids taped all the way back. You got to watch it. All right, now I saw this and I was like, this looks really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, is the death of Robin Hood interesting?
It is, but I have a problem.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies of all time was Robin and Marian. The Richard Lester directed Death of Robin Hood, starring Sean Connery as Robin Hood and Audrey Hepburn as Maid Marian. And I love that movie so much. And what happens hey, listen, Death of Robin Hood is really good, but it's not for anybody who loves Robin Hood. Oh. Because if you put the poster back up again, that's the whole moral of the movie.
He was no hero.
In fact, he was a violent shit. He was a homicidal maniac. He was a vicious, awful person. But of course, it's Hugh Jackman. And he does a great job. And it's a well-done movie, although, again, my audience, I saw it in New York, and my audience was going, why did you make this? We came to see a Robin Hood movie. We grew up with Robin Hood. These other great Robin Hood, the original, I saw the original, the Adventure
Errol
of Robin
Flynn.
Hood with Errol Flynn.
Yeah, I love that one.
And it's like, why did you make this piece of shit? It's not a piece of shit, but they make him into a piece of shit. So
hey, Men in Tights is the GOAT, man. That's a classic, man.
So if you want to see Robin Hood be a total violent shithead, this is the movie. And it's done well.
I don't know, Anubis. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see him as a bad guy, but I can see what Rick's talking about because people go in thinking that he's the hero, that he's the guy that saves.
It's just like Supergirl. Why make a movie? If you don't make the movie for your audience, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Go make your own movie. Create another character. But what happens is that these guys like to work. So they said, well, I'd like to do a Robin Hood movie. And they go, oh, great. Go ahead. Here's the money. So then they're stuck, and then they do what they want to do, and it doesn't succeed.
Is there any
fine on streaming
action it's
noteworthy? Very violent, hyper realistic.
Anubis, we have to watch this.
He's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not quite badass. It has some smart ass, but I think you'll still be entertained.
All right. Copy that. No, we have two great actors here, and I'm so fired because I keep forgetting the gentleman's name, but he's great.
But let me quickly say, did you see the movie Pig with Nicolas Cage?
I did.
That was directed by the guy who did Death of Robin Hood.
Oh, okay. He
also did A Quiet Place Day One, so he's talented. He did what he wanted to do. But now back to Caroline.
Yeah, two great actors right here. We've been fans of Samara Weaving for years now, but I keep forgetting his name. It's so bad. I feel terrible.
Kyle Garner.
Yeah, there you go. Great actor.
He was in Smile 1 and 2.
Nice, and he was in a movie called The Passenger.
That's right.
That is one of my wife's favorite movies.
There you go.
Yo. Shout out to the missus. Shout out to the queen. Yeah.
If you haven't seen a lot of movies about a bad boy teaching a good girl to be a bad girl, and there are a lot of them,
Yeah.
then you should be fine with this.
Okay.
But if you have seen all those other movies, you're going to have a tough time because it's a perfectly fine movie. It's just very recognizable. Might as well be a remake. What's the big one? What was the big one about the guy teaching the girl to be a bad girl? It was with Martin. It was with Sissy Spacek and Martin Sheen. Well, it might have been called Badlands. I can't remember.
Okay.
But this is basically a remake, and it's done perfectly well. But
true,
again, it's like
True Romance, Bonnie and Clyde vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This guy seems really good at this archetype because it feels like the same thing as Dinner in America, another one of his movies, and then that movie The Passenger is just kind of feels like the same thing.
It is.
He's disturbed. He's got some
problems. That sort of stuff, you probably won't be disappointed.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I actually reviewed The Passenger on this channel. The channel that talks about horror and kung fu movies. I reviewed The Passenger. All right, cool. Definitely sounds like a good thriller. Now, I saw.
So I'll try and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll watch anything she's in. But I saw this artwork, Rick, that you shared, and I was like, I'm seeing chucks. I'm seeing weapons. I'm like, well, this looks like a blast. Rick, was a blast a blast?
It is a Tamil movie, which means, part of Bollywood.
Yes.
It is with the king of Bollywood action. But of course, it being one of those movies, it has to be it's basically 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
This is the very, very definition of a fast forward to the fights movie.
I watched it today.
Oh, how'd you like it?
All right. Thoughts?
It's like God, it's complicated.
I love it.
It's like I didn't hate it. I didn't even not like it. But
interesting.
It just seemed like everyone just constantly wanted to make the most ruthless decision. One of my favorite, I don't even know if I can say the word favorite, but it made me just say Jesus was in the final battle. There's stuff going on at home, and there's stuff going on in the bad guy's place,
right?
And the mom and the uncle are at home, and the mom says, "We don't want to get in too much trouble, so nobody dies." Immediately cut to the final fight with the bad guy, and the dad goes, "Kill him."
Kill them all.
I was just like,
Kill
Jesus.
This movie is highlights. They make the stuff with the villains is a waste of time.
But it's a lot of the movie.
Yeah, well, that's the point. It's literally a waste of time. They wanted, because they knew they had to make it's a Bollywood movie. They have to make more than 2 hours.
Right.
And they didn't have enough plot for enough 2 hours, and they didn't have enough action scenes for 2 hours, and they didn't put in musical numbers, although they've had a lot of singles come out. Yeah, they put out singles that are very successful. Those have been selling 1 million. So again, fast forward to the fights. And what's interesting, what I loved about it, is that every single fight seemed to be choreographed by somebody else.
Huh.
There are a couple. Different. Yeah, you'll see. There's when the ladies, the mother and the daughter, start doing. I mean, the opening of the first 20 minutes to a half hour, I thought were really promising, and because they were teaching the daughter, because she was a little girl at the beginning of the movie, and they turn her into the fighter, and he runs a karate school in India, and of course, and then there are some fight sequences that looked like he was running a kung fu school, and there were some sequences where it was a karate. There was some scenes where it was judo, and it was all sorts of different stuff.
I noticed that.
Yeah, when the women and the men, because again, Bollywood does whatever it wants to entertain their audience.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to see, what are they going to do this time? But I was very happy that they built, because the final fight, that sequence where the uncle shows up. I loved it when the uncle showed up, because all the main characters were about to be killed. I mean, knives right through their throats, and in comes the uncle and just. And also, they're all normal people. They're not, super beautiful and super
but
pretty.
also they are all anime characters.
Right, exactly. and they're always in, and the women are always in the saris. They're always in the Indian wardrobe. So it's fun, but I strongly recommend you fast forward.
It's a fist film.
Because, it's like I'm watching the villains, waste time, literally and figuratively.
Anubis, did you see it? Did you see the movie?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
It's on Netflix now. Go.
Sounds like a blast.
Fast forward.
All right, we're almost done here. We got 2 more left.
Hallelujah.
All right. Operation HADAL.
Oh, you saw that. But I saw it years ago.
Anubis, I think you reviewed it, but I didn't see your review because I wanted to hear what you thought about it live, baby. And have you seen it, Tristan?
I did not.
Okay, Anubis, you go first because I have thoughts. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really like this film. Not as much as, say, The Hunt for Red October, but it has that kind of vibe, which I really, really enjoyed. Certainly a surprise to me because I'm not usually big on the whole submarine stuff, and everything takes place underwater mainly. But I thought it was really good. I really like it. So I've been really happy with Well Go USA lately. So I've been eating up a lot of this stuff they've been putting out. So obviously,
Yeah.
But this is the third movie in a series by Dante Lamb, who's one of the great directors, and he also did, Operation Mekong and Operation Red Sea.
And I have not seen those, so I didn't even know that going in. So
I felt they were superior to this one because they weren't on a submarine. But this one was still good because Dante Lamb is just a pro. Take it, Samurai.
All right. So I did if you guys have not seen it, everybody's watching right now. I hung out with Eric, the Asian movie enthusiast, and we actually reviewed Operation Mekong and Red Sea on a Movie Dojo episode. We reviewed both films, spoilers. I even threw in some footage just for fun, for some eye candy for you lovely lads that watch. So, Operation Mekong, loved it. This big body count. It had this nice splice of like urban warfare and then in jungle warfare, and I was like, let's fucking go. I think Eddie Pang was in the first one.
I think Liu Jianwen was there, I believe.
Yeah. And I really dug it. Now, all 3 of these movies, they all have wonky CGI. That is a thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot more wonky CGI in this because they're underwater with subs more than the others in the first 2. But there's still wonky CGI in the first movie. And in the second movie, it was filmed in 3D. So you have wonky CGI moments in the second one, but you have moments where you could totally tell it was made for a 3D shot, missile coming at you and all that. So I really like Operation Mekong. And then when I went straight into Red Sea, and I was like, holy shit, this might go down on if I have to make one of my favorite action movies of all time list, Operation Red Sea might go there. Because I was just like, this is amazing. I mean, now it's like we're in the desert with the urban warfare and stuff like that. And it's just great. It's just really good. Satisfying Operation Red Sea. Satisfying action. Big body count, everything. And then I noticed there wasn't a third movie. And when I reviewed this with Eric several years ago, I was like, bro, this could go down as one of the greatest action movie trilogies of recent trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
If the third one nails the landing. And then we were waiting. Why isn't there a third movie? And I think Rick, I asked you, and I think you and Frank said China-China'd.
Yeah.
You said something like that. And we were like, no, we're not getting a third movie. God damn it. Just like Wolf Warrior 3. We're not getting a Wolf Warrior 3.
I don't need a Wolf Warrior 3.
Wolf Warrior 2 is amazing.
Yeah, well, you're not Wu Jing.
Wolf Warrior 2 is amazing. Wolf Warrior 1 I got issues with, but I love Wolf Warrior 2.
It's an improvement.
It's so good. Oh, it's amazing. He holds his breath under the water for 10 minutes in the beginning. I love it. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. I'm like, this is for me.
Again, look at the box office.
Yeah. So finally this drops. And I was like, oh shit. I watched the trailer. I was like, all right, this looks good. I watched it this morning. And I'm just like, something told me to lower my expectations.
Very smart.
And not be through the roof, because I love the first two so much, especially the second one. And there are issues, there are problems. There are issues with some of the story in terms of like, where the fuck did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
You have the scene where he talks to the captain and he's all like, you mean to tell I don't like you because you killed my dad and you raised me this whole time? I'm like, wait a minute, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen Red Sea. Maybe it was brought up in Red Sea, but I was just like, where the hell did this come from? So there's stuff in there that I was just like, okay. A lot of CGI because they're under the water, so you got a lot of sub battles and stuff. But Dante Lam with this movie was really ambitious compared to the first two because of the undersea water battles and filming inside the subs. And he had some interesting one take camera shots, and he threw everything in this movie. You got drone shots, you
that
got cameras.
Dog was nuts, dude.
You got cameras on top of the guns shooting.
Yeah.
like we got robotic dogs. And then he was like, fuck it, we probably don't have the budget for the robotic dog. Fuck it. I want a robotic dog in this movie. And we're going to put in this movie.
He went all Dr. Evil. I want sharks with lasers, man.
Were you like me when they got to the lair at the end with the nuke about to go off? Were you like me and saw that ridiculous set? And it felt like it was like a James Bond villain evil lair set.
Yes, exactly.
The more because it gets slow in the middle, and I was like, the more over the top this movie gets, it puts a smile on my face. Do not, if you want to be over the top, please be over the top. Do not be boring, as Rick says. Don't be boring. That's the worst. Don't be boring. So overall, really enjoyed it when it got to the gunplay and the gore, and there's some fun stunts and stuff. Definitely had fun with it. I can't say right now if it's the action trilogy that I wanted. I can't. I need to watch it some more.
Okay,
but it is entertaining, and I do recommend you guys watch it.
Do you know why? Do you know why Dante Lam made it?
What happened, Rick?
Because they let him.
Okay.
I mean, he's got to make a living.
Yeah.
And, thank heaven things had changed in China. So the China Film Bureau is no longer, dotting the I's, crossing the T's kind of stuff. They're getting, because of streaming now, and because China is embracing whatever makes the movie cheaper.
Right.
They will let them do stuff. And it's like, hallelujah, let me do stuff. And at this point, they're just, let's get it finished.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, Anubis. I'm glad you liked it. I kind of expected you to destroy it, to be honest. I was waiting for you to be like, what the hell is this CGI crap?
Any port in the storm.
I've said it before, like other movies that, if you can do CGI where it works and it's not overtaking your movie. So if you look at Clash of the Titans remake versus King of the Monsters, it's night and day, like how they make it work. And that's the difference. Like, if you can make it work, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Copy that. All right. It is not the Blade Trinity of the series. No. It's not the Blade Trinity of the series.
I like that film, though. I like that film.
Well, I am at peace that I could say that Blade Trinity now is good bad.
Ryan Reynolds.
I'm at peace that I could say that it's good bad now because I hated that movie for years. All right. Last but not least, Rick.
Yeah.
Panda Plan 2, Electric Boogaloo, Panda Plan, and the Magical Tribe.
Well, it is the least. You know why?
Okay.
Because it shouldn't be this movie. This movie is not coming out for months yet.
Oh.
What they put up, and I made the mistake, they put up the original Panda Plan, the one with the panda poo as the main weapon. They put that up this week rather than that. So we're done.
Okay. All right.
About
all
time.
Right. Copy that. All right. Quick Rick's recap. Everybody join in. Tristan, thumbs up, thumbs down, half a thumb, curved thumb for the projects you have seen. Those are coming in late. is a quick Rick's recap. We're going to start with The Furious. All right. Next up, we have Supergirl. Damn it. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have, if I can find it.
Dude, Samurai really liked it.
It's my childhood on screen, bro. All right. Here's something funny. If it's true, Rick, if it's true, because it's the internet. Dolph Lundgren said he was confused why this bombed because everybody complained about his movie not having, this had, and the marketing was there.
That's what I thought too, because even though I still thought it was kind of like an average film, I mean,
Eternia was great.
Well, yeah. It's hard to really come down hard on Lundgren because of the time it was made. But
dude, like Canon Pictures, they had no money.
Right. Yeah. And so you got like you got the tiger that looks good, you know, like you got all that stuff in there. So I see why Lundgren's a little confused. But then again, and maybe Tristan might speak on this a little bit too, is like, does it seem like they probably should have just went more serious with the tone instead of go with the comedy?
I mean,
you know, basically, who's going to see this movie? Fans of Masters of the Universe.
Right.
If you treat them poorly, they're going to tell their friends not
yeah,
to
but the
see
cartoon wasn't serious.
Right. But I'm just saying, like,
to me, the people who grew up with it have aged.
Bingo.
Right.
The people who grew up with it have aged and want to see it serious. It's the same thing. I mean, you could make the same argument now for, I got my Power Rangers Time Force up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As much as I love, you know, a good campy
right.
Power Rangers.
Right.
If they came out with an animated show or something today, and it was like, hey, we're going to do Power Rangers. Well, screw it. I've got my Lord Draken helmet right here. What makes Lord Draken so freaking cool?
Yeah.
The reason we love Lord Draken so much is because the comic books took this dumb, childish, Saturday morning cartoon, teach you a lesson every episode TV show, and said, what if we made this dark as hell and made the coolest character you've ever freaking seen? Lord Draken.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
If you're going to go to a Masters of the Universe movie, it's because you love Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
If they don't treat it with respect, you're not telling your friends to go see it.
Yeah.
I loved it. You guys don't remember the cartoon.
Oh, I did.
It's ridiculous.
It was great shit.
Now, here's the thing. I do agree with you that a serious Master Universe could work. I agree. And you get a little taste of that, believe it or not, in Dolph Lundgren's movie, because Frank Langella as Skeletor is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Because he plays that entire movie straight as hell.
But if you would
and he's amazing.
If only
even if you would approach this like, say,
I thought Jared Leto was a mixture of serious theatrics, but with the old cartoon comedic.
And they did that. And they did it they did it well with that Netflix series from a few years ago. Like I didn't grow up on, but it was a more serious tone, right?
Yeah.
Well, there were other reasons why
I would like to see this more like Beastmaster or Conan Destroyer, because at least then you have a little bit of that comedy, but it's more subtle. Like I like to have them more like
leading character's performance was legit and not so stupid. I think it would have worked.
Okay, copy that. I loved it.
Well, good.
I'm
glad you did.
All right, next up, we got Toy Story, Scary Movie series. All right, okay. Here we go. Toy Story 5. Booyakasha.
5 thumbs up.
Death of Robin Hood.
Depends on what you want.
All right. Sweet Caroline. Da da da. All right. Blast.
Or better yet, let me do the fast forward to the
fast to the fight.
Fast forward to the fight. Fast forward to the fight.
Operation Hadal. Oh.
He's trying. He's trying.
You don't have to do two of them. You can do one. There you go.
Thank God
Good
you bailed me
man.
out, Rick, as always. All right. All right. Here we go. Okay. Well, this was a blast.
Did you do
What's up?
Disclosure Day or no?
Oh, hold on. I missed
Oh, yeah,
that.
right.
Hold on. Disclosure Day. Oh, about the same.
Yep.
Pretty much about the same. Awesome. Awesome. All right. This was a blast as always.
No.
Tristan, you're always welcome, brother. You're always welcome, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy, as long as I can find the time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Say hello to the missus for me. Before we go around the squared circle and wrap everything up, Tristan, what you got coming up to the channel?
Of course, Martial Arts Film Freak, YouTube, all across social medias, the TikToks and everything. What am I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I have a podcast over there that I started a year ago in July. This upcoming episode will be the anniversary episode. I will have the first guest ever had back on. It is called I Welcome You to Kung Fu. It is a series in which I bring a guest on who is not neck deep in Kung Fu cinema as I am, and I have them pick one movie that they're interested in, and I pick a movie that sort of accompanies and complements their choice, and I make them watch two movies and we talk about them, and it's just an excuse for me to make people watch movies that I like and talk about them, and it's fun.
Great show. Highly recommend it. Click on the links below for everybody here. You can follow them on the socials. Anubis, what's coming up?
In the near future, this week, we'll be doing my top metal and rock releases of the month. For Neko and I will be doing that, reviewing those. And then also, I hit up Tristan on his Instagram. Hopefully, I can try to drag him into my world. But I'm going to do my next Lone Wolf with Dub podcast review for Come Drink With Me. So if he wants to do that with me, I'd be
I'm sorry. There's a reason why I laughed. I'm not laughing at you. I think it's a great idea. But it's because Frank messaged Tristan about the same request, dude.
Oh, really? No shit.
Did you get that message, Tristan?
I haven't looked at it. Is it also about Come Drink With Me?
Yes. That's why he wanted your information. That's hilarious.
Dude, that's crazy.
All great minds think alike.
Because I have like
Tristan, you're in demand.
Movies I want to do, but
you're
crazy.
in demand. Yeah.
I see Anubis. Was that?
Was that Anubis?
Yeah, that's right.
Djeng. I'm an idiot. I thought that was Frank. I'm an idiot.
Frank doesn't like me then.
Oh, it's all good. Rick,
Yes.
what's going on? Anything coming up?
Oh, nothing. Just the 29th annual San Diego Comic-Con Kung Fu Extravaganza in 3 weeks, and hope for the best, plan for the rest.
Yes. So if you guys are at Comic-Con, come by and see us. I'll put up a video reminding you guys of the date and all that kind of stuff and where to find us and what time and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. Rick, it's always going to be a blast. And for me, I'm just now getting back in the swing of things because I've been down for the count, health issues, all that stuff. But yeah, if you guys love movies, y'all know me. Come on. Movie Dojo Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe right here and on Spotify. And for shits and all the giggles, I started a gaming channel just for fun. Do you like enjoying watching an old man suck at video games? Well, head over there to Phat Samurai Gaming, and sky's the limit. Subscribe over there and then follow me on Twitch, Phat Samurai Gaming. Here's a little taste of the carnage.
Watch this amazing comeback. Look at this. I'm coming back, baby. Oh, comeback of the year. Come on. Oh. That was epic. Comeback of the year, baby. Ooh. Oh. That was amazing. I'm proud of myself.
I am waiting for the day, which will probably be next week, when all the video games are indistinguishable from live action. Because that's what AI can do.
Play an Uncharted game.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you
go. If you guys are wondering, that was one victory out of 1,000 losses. Sorry. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Yes. Take care, guys.
Later.